Interrompemos esse podcast para perguntar: quem você quer ser?
Designer, engenheira, pedagoga,
administrador.
Quer saber? O Senac EAD é nota máxima no MEC. Tem cursos de diversas áreas, com conteúdo elaborado por especialistas do mercado e professores mestres e doutores. Ainda tem o Senac Carreiras, conectando estudantes a vagas de emprego em todo o país. Saiba mais em ead.senac.br/graduação.
Uma pausa no seu podcast para falar sobre a beleza, essa força poderosa que nos move. No Grupo L'Oréal, nós criamos a beleza com sustentabilidade. Utilizamos em nossas embalagens 85% de plástico PET de origem reciclada. 65% dos ingredientes vieram de base biológica ou derivados de minerais abundantes. Grupo L'Oréal, nós criamos a beleza que move o mundo.
The session is brought to you by morebeer.com, where every day you can enter to win the beer trip of a lifetime for two to Belgium. Private tours, round-trip airfare, and $500 to spend. Enter now at morebeer.com.
Great beer is about drinkability. Doesn't matter the style.
You guys are like walking beer Wikipedia. That's the first time that you've ever accepted me as a person.
Or you have a fermentation in your gut.
I'm jet propelled at all times.
How many guys do you think that you have the privilege to slap?
Somebody who's never tasted a commercial example, and this is how you know everything about this beer? Please, you don't.
I think that's bullshit.
I think it's bullshit too.
Wow. Are you guys going to arm wrestle?
No.
We're going to teabag fight instead.
Yeah. You heard of Junkyard Wars?
Can I get another high five, Beavis?
Now, live from the Brewing Network studios in Northern California, this is the radio program for home brewers, craft brewers, beer lovers, and beer geeks. It's your only source for live beer radio that brings expert brewers together with, well, expert drinkers. This is the radio program with a head on it. This is The Session.
Ay, 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 ay. It's Cinco de Mayo, and I feel like the JP's an asshole song fits Cinco de Mayo.
It really does.
For some reason.
Yeah, well, that's all right.
You had jury duty today.
I had jury duty today, yeah.
Were you an asshole in there?
No, actually, I asked legitimate questions.
Yeah?
For some reason, I didn't know that the jury could actually ask a question.
Me neither. I thought you were just supposed to listen to testimony.
Did you do it?
Did you admit to doing this?
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah.
Did you do it?
Just come clean, because otherwise we're wasting our friggin' time here. I have episodes of the Clone Wars to watch. Yeah, it was cool. I mean, it was actually really interesting.
Yeah.
You know?
You going to be in there a while, you think, or what?
No.
Quick one?
Yeah. We actually got let off early today.
Oh.
And then tomorrow we should wrap up. Maybe Wednesday. I don't know for sure.
Violent crime, or?
No.
That's good.
Yeah.
Nothing weird.
No, it's not.
Sex crime?
Not a sex crime, unfortunately.
That's good.
But it is a criminal case.
Right.
For criminals.
Yes.
Not a civil case.
Correct.
Wait, this is the jury selection, or you actually got selected?
No, I'm on the.
Oh, wow.
I'm on the mother.
That's hard to do, isn't it? I mean, they call in like 100 and something people, and
yeah,
select 12.
But JP must not have answered anything truthfully. Let's be honest here today. When they're like, "So, how do you feel?" Like, you know, with your racism and your sexism and your.
First of all, racism is a little. I just believe in stereotypes until I see otherwise. That's not racist.
Were there any questions like that? Like, trying to get to your beliefs, obviously?
No. Well, they ask you during the selection, have you ever had any contact with law enforcement? Have you ever had a negative interaction with law enforcement?
And both of those answers were no?
Yeah. Well, because so nobody said anything, and the ladies and the prosecutor who's trying to start the process of choosing the jurors, nobody said anything. And she goes, "Really? You all haven't got a speeding ticket or anything like that?"
Right.
And I raised my hand. I go, "Well, I've gotten a speeding ticket, but I did it."
So it wasn't a negative experience?
Yeah, and she goes, "But you weren't upset about that?" I go, "Well, no, I did it. I was speeding. I got caught. I don't understand the question." And I was hoping to be a little like, hey, I'm super. I understand exactly what's going on. I'm a little too by the book.
Yeah,
I don't have any room. If it says that this thing is is unlawful, and you do it, and you've broken the law, I don't care.
Well, that would get you.
The prosecutor would like your attitude.
Yeah, but I was hoping the defense.
But the defense would get rid of you,
right? But apparently she didn't. I reiterated things like that.
Can you play this song when you're done with jury duty?
And just hold a boombox over my head if they still make those.
If the guy gets found guilty, I'm going to send this song to him.
Yeah. It would. Well, I can't comment on the case. I can't even make a joke about it.
No, you can't. You can't do that.
So there you go.
In a couple days, though, you could.
Yes. Afterwards, I believe I will let you know, and it is at the same time reinforcing my belief in our system of justice, and at the same time raping it in the ass
all at once.
Yes, because it's just the most ridiculous waste of money, and that's all I'm going to say.
This case in particular.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like you didn't work very hard to not get selected. I mean, the answer to the have you ever had a run in and have you ever had a negative experience with cops? Instantly, I'm like, oh yeah.
Well, and other people have, and they go, well, what happened? Oh well, I got a DUI.
And that didn't get anybody thrown off?
No, it did, unfortunately.
Sweet!
But, yeah. And I'm like, really?
The best thing to come of my DUI will be no jury duty.
Yeah, every single person who was like, I had one lady remembered the next day. She goes, well, in full disclosure, I had a DUI. Oh, really, ma'am? At what point in your history have you done? 25 years ago. And then the defense goes, the defense would like to thank and excuse juror number blah, blah, blah.
Wow.
What a fucking
nice.
I didn't realize they were busting people for DUI 25 years ago. I thought that was like the last 10, 15 years.
You had to be really drunk to not just get escorted home.
You got an escort.
Right.
Yeah, whatever happened.
And
she deserved
this
it.
lady's like in her 40s. I mean, it's like, come on. And but they ask you, can you set that aside and follow the letter of the law? Someone did that. Like, I don't believe I can in this case. And they go, okay, you're free to go.
Because they knew what it takes to go home, JP.
But see, you have to swear an oath to tell the truth.
You're sworn in.
To tell the truth. You're sworn in before they even start selecting.
Right.
So what am I going to do?
Lie.
Oh, shit.
Don't do your civic duty. That's what you're supposed to do.
Right?
That's right. You showed up. I consider that your civic duty.
Showed up and lied.
I was here.
Yeah.
Well, first
the American way. Show up and lie.
First, they sent me out to Richmond, the Richmond courthouse, and then I go there for a couple hours, and they go, "Okay, you're all done, but Martinez is in desperate need of jurors." So now you all are reporting to Martinez.
What? Wow.
Desperate.
That sounds like double jeopardy to me.
Oh,
that's what I thought, too.
Your service should have been over. That's Martinez's problem, not yours.
Yeah, and so we all go in a room. There's maybe 150 people, and a whole giant group gets called in. And I go, great, I'm not going to have to go. And then 10 minutes later, I get called in with another group.
Oh, shit's hitting the fan of Martinez.
Yeah, there's just a lot of stuff going on, I guess.
Weird.
Yeah.
I'm shocked.
Yeah, I know,
Martinez.
right?
All right, well, let's get to it. We got a lot to do today and a few things to talk about. I want to thank our sponsor of this program and every session that we bring you, the good folks over at More Beer. You can go to morebeer.com right now and check it out. And they're just great people. I believe they just gave away a trip to Belgium.
Oh, really? They did?
Well, it's over. I know that the entries are over. Maybe they haven't announced the winner yet, but you can't enter anymore. If you've been paying attention to the show for the last 6 weeks or so, you hopefully got your ass over there to get involved. But the good folks at More Beer bring you this session and every session. Go to morebeer.com. and check it out. I'm excited to be working with them again at NHC this year, too.
Yeah.
I think we got a few surprises up our sleeve that we're going to work together on.
Nice.
So that'll be fun. Our guest tonight, Base Camp Brewing Company in studio. They drive a Westie, so they're already
hipsters
on my good side. Yeah.
Did you already do the whole what year conversation with them?
Well, it turns out we spent some time together at Boonville Beer Festival this weekend.
Oh.
They went to that and saw my Westie, came over, introduced themselves. So we did our Westie talking.
Oh.
And
68. Well, that has the modified bushing that you can actually just swap out with another one and you get less drag.
Well, the interesting thing actually is, JP, that they have a Vanagon, an 80s model, which typically would be water-cooled, but a comrade of mine, it's an air-cooled Vanagon, so we share that in common, which means we have the same level of stress every time we arrive somewhere. Right. Feeling like it was going to catch fire.
Great.
So, happy to be talking to the Base Camp guys. They're in studio today, and they brought us some beer. I even arranged a ride home.
Oh.
Thinking that I would want to drink a lot of Base Camp beer tonight.
They brought a lot of it.
Yeah. They're cool packaging. See that?
Yeah, what are they?
They have really cool packages.
16-ounce aluminum bottles.
22s.
They have really cool big packages. They're 22 ounces?
Yeah, and the bottles are shorter and a little bit narrower than a glass bottle.
Are you guys just drinking right out of the bottle right now?
See, that's your serving size.
Checking?
Aluminium bottle.
In Oregon, that's what you start with. That's like a sip.
That's a warm-up.
Yeah. I'll have a taster, please. Here's your 22. Where in Oregon are you guys from? Portland. Portland. God, you got balls opening a brewery in Portland, don't you think? There's like a brewery on every corner.
Pretty
All right, we'll talk about that. We're going to learn all about the Portland beer scene with Base Camp and their brewery. They got an interesting story, so we'll talk all about that. Let me get through a few announcements for you. BNA 9, our 9th anniversary party. Tickets are on sale now. We're good to go. It's happening Thursday night during NHC this year. So for those of you who have missed in the past because you don't go into NHC a night early, we got you covered. We're actually in place of Pro Night, Tasty.
That's pretty good.
Pro Night kind of gets integrated into the rest of the festival, so there's nothing happening on Thursday night.
How does it get integrated, by the way? Is it like they're pouring throughout the day? Or
they're pouring throughout the day in the hospitality suite. So I think you have your homebrew clubs pouring, and then which is traditional. That's what it's been in the past. And now you also have several professional breweries pouring in the hospitality suite as well. I think that's how it got changed.
I wonder if it isn't because they don't have that many homebrew clubs to man the hospitality suite.
I don't think so.
No.
I think part of it was that it's a great downtown location, and they wanted people to go out into the city a little bit.
Right.
Of course, then we're throwing a wrench in that plan by parking buses outside the hotel and taking everyone to our party.
Let's go.
But we're still contributing to local commerce because we're renting out Fifth Third Ballpark, which is an awesome minor league baseball stadium there. We're taking up the entire park. We've got on-field activities going on, and it's all brought to you by our good friends down at Hop Tech Homebrew Supplies and Craft Beer and Brewing Magazine. They're our title sponsors this year, and we've got a VIP area. VIP tickets are sold out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we sold out 200 tickets in less than 2 days, I think is what happened. So general admission tickets are still available, it's a deal. For $50, it's all you can eat and all you can drink, and you get the run of the entire park. There's just the one little VIP area that you don't get the run of, but I'm telling you that it's compared to everything else we have lined up for you. So go get your general admission tickets. They're only $50.
All you can eat,
$50.
all you can drink, all you can laugh.
That's right.
Right?
We're putting together a Brewing Network kickball game.
Yeah.
We're going to have, I think we got to round out our team a little bit.
Yeah.
Because, like, Tasty only wants to,
designated hitter.
He designated hitter. Maybe
with
first.
a designated runner.
Or, like, first base coach, maybe.
Designated umpire, man. There you go.
So maybe we'll get some of our sponsors on board to be on a team with us, right?
Oh, that'd be great.
So Brewcasters and BN sponsors versus the listeners in like a, 2, 3, 4 inning kickball game. We'll see how much fun we're having.
7. I mean, if little leaguers can go 7 innings, I think we can go 7 innings.
Yeah. So that'll be fun to watch for a little while. JP had the idea that they have wireless mics for down on the field. JP and I are thinking we're going to do running commentary during the whole game.
I'm going to make sure they don't issue any lav mics.
That'd be amazing.
It's going to be fun.
That'd have to be highly edited.
And Moskowitz up to the plate. Saggy shorts on today. Might be shitting himself. It's going to be a fun game.
Then we'd all hear the panting as you run halfway to first base.
I sound like Tasty.
Actually, yeah, Tasty, you'd make a perfect first base coach.
First base coach,
yeah,
I'm thinking.
You get to pat everybody on the rear end when they get a base hit.
Good game.
I don't enjoy doing that. What are you talking about?
Yeah, he's much more subtle than
Is this
that.
a co-ed team?
We'll work on it for you, Tasty. That way,
I'll make my arm numb for one side. And
Kim Wood's going. Maybe I can get Kim Wood to be on our team.
I'm sure she'd love to be in the game.
There we go.
Yeah,
she was a hell of a softball player. Turns out
she's a ringer for sure.
Yeah,
We'll be able to keep her off the team.
All right, so we got a lot of things going on. Go to thebrewingnetwork.com/BNA9. Thebrewingnetwork.com/BNA9. That's how you get your tickets. We'll keep reminding you. You got time, but we want you to be there. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Absolutely,
like 30 breweries and look. If you just go downtown, you're going to spend $50 on dinner and beer. So let us take care of it for you. You can spend at least $50 if you don't go to the party.
Yeah.
All right. Just a quick update. The Hop Grenade Tap Room and Bottle Shop is still under construction. We're working on it. I don't know when we're opening. I have no fucking idea. End of May, early June, October.
2016.
We're working on it. I talked to a lot of people at Boonville about it, Tasty. I'm getting a little frustrated, that we're delayed. And everybody's going, dude, you guys are so not delayed. Everybody else takes a year, to do. They're so far behind schedule. We're only like a month behind right now. We'll be about 2 months behind by the time we open. Everyone else is going, quit your bitching. That's fine. So we're working on it. We'll let you know as soon as those doors open. Best way to get those updates is to sign up for Twitter and Facebook. All right, you can support us through the BN store. There's a lot of gear up there, and we're ordering some new stuff right now. Just hit the store button on thebrewingnetwork.com and get T-shirts and hats and stainless steel growlers that are pretty sweet, all sorts of stuff. You can also support us by shopping on Amazon. Just click the Amazon button on the homepage. Do we have an Amazon product of the week?
Yeah, I thought about doing the Master Series Anal Expander Functioning Vibrating Probe.
That's all one thing?
Yeah, that's one item. And there's a whole bunch of... I have to think it's the same person ordering all this stuff. But I don't want to do that because we've done enough sex toys on Amazon.
Okay.
And you should be getting that on Adam and Eve anyway. I'm going to do the Donut House Collection decaf K-Cup portion pack for the Keurig brewing system.
Oh.
So, it's decaf.
And it tastes like donuts?
Who's drinking decaf?
Yeah.
And also, the drip systems are you, or the Keurig? So, are you guys into this thing?
Oh, yeah. No. I love mine.
You love it? See,
Yeah, I do.
everyone seems to love it, and my girlfriend insisted on it. And I like the drip pot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like the old school Mr. Coffee, make a whole bunch of it, have a nice coffee in the afternoon. I don't know why everyone's so into the Keurig.
Yeah, but you also like to say the drip pot has gone the way of the dodo.
Well, not in my house.
Well, and you like bad coffee. If you have the coffee in the pot for a whole day on the burner.
Well, who does that?
Well, you don't leave it on.
Oh, I'm assuming. I don't know.
You brew it and then you turn it off.
Oh.
And you have your cup and you put it in the fridge for later.
Oh, I don't drink coffee
Well, there
later.
you go.
Who drinks coffee later?
I would just see with the Keurig, you don't have to drink it later. You just make another cup.
But I mean, I don't even buy it. Like, you have coffee in the morning.
Right. Yeah.
And you have beer in the afternoon. What's this coffee later thing?
Well, no, sometimes I like a good cup of coffee in the afternoon. That makes sense to me.
Maybe on the weekends, you're going to be up late.
Oh, yeah? I just have a beer.
I do both. I have beer and coffee. Yeah.
Just double fist it?
Well, I have 2 straws.
I see.
Yeah.
That'll work.
I mean, who drinks beer not out of a straw?
Wait, so did you say that the coffee that comes out of this particular Keurig is donuts? It tastes like donuts?
They call it the Donut House.
Oh.
It's the name of the brand. I don't know.
I
Does
guess
it taste like a donut?
I might drink coffee in the afternoon if it tastes like donuts.
I think it's meant to be just like, run-of-the-mill coffee like you get at the donut house.
Right.
Oh.
Or maybe it's a brand. I don't know, like Dunkin' Donuts. Maybe it's Dunkin' Donuts knockoff.
Okay.
It might be. But anyway, thanks for ordering, even though it was decaf.
So, Moskowitz, you have a $300 coffee maker that you don't use?
Yeah, well, Alexa uses it.
I see. Okay.
But yes.
But basically, yes. All right. I think that's all the announcements I have for today, right? All right. Do we have a Twitter game?
Yes.
Who's Twitter brought to us today by?
Homebrew stuff?
No, I got them later. Oh, you know what? How about this? Twitter's brought to you today by Beer Law Center. You can go to beerlawcenter.com, and if you're having trademark issues or if you just want to start looking into protecting your stuff, you're going to need help. Ask me how I know.
How do you know?
It's fucking ridiculous how I know. Every week now.
It's not an answer.
Every week.
How ridiculous.
But John over at Beer Law Center helps me out. You can go to beerlawcenter.com. He's there for the beer industry, helping you with your trademark registrations and any problems that might arise. He's good at it, and he's got a good attitude. He's not a dick about it. He doesn't just write to people saying, hey, go fuck yourself, give us our trademark back.
Yeah.
He says that, but in legalese.
In legalese.
He's thinking it.
That's what they'll say back to me. That's
My
what they're
client
starting
would
to
blah,
say.
blah, blah. Yeah. It doesn't have to be beer also, beer-centric. So if you're listening to this and you don't have a brewery, but you want to trademark something,
he
John
does
will
it
help
all?
you out also, yeah.
Why is it called Beer Law Center then?
Because he wants to focus on beer. But I'm just saying.
But he'll do other things
Of
now.
course, yeah, man. In this market with the Obama dollar, are you kidding me? That is insane.
dollar.
I don't know.
They're putting him on the dollar now?
Yeah, you didn't know that? Yeah.
All right, beerlawcenter.com. What's our Twitter game?
Our Twitter game is put on your thinking caps. This is the future, okay? It's 2034. Sam is president.
Sam who?
Sam Moore.
Oh, our
Right.
Sam.
Yeah, douchey Sam.
Yeah.
What's his first official act as president?
Sodomy.
2034. His first official presidential act.
Oh, a presidential act.
Sure.
You got to specify.
His first official act as president.
I see. Sodomy.
Sodomy. All right.
He's like, Oval Office.
Yeah.
I'm going into the Oval Office.
They call it Oval for a reason.
Bevo, bring that Oval Office over here.
Sir, you're actually in the Lincoln bedroom. I know where I am. I'm going into the Oval Office.
All right. So what will Sam's official presidential act be? That's our Twitter game today. All right. And I think Yeah, we got time to do feedback even.
Oh, shit.
Well, that's fun.
Today's a good day.
Yeah. Let me get it ready.
Oh, you should get it ready.
It's here somewhere.
Oh, my God!
You've got mail.
Kick ass.
All right, feedback's brought to you today by Keystone Homebrew Supply. Go over to KeystoneHomebrew.com. Longtime supporters of us, and we love them for it. Keystone Homebrew Supply. Everything you need. All right. Brandon writes in, I'm writing to inform you that I've won a first place on a pale ale at the Titletown Open Homebrew Competition that took place on April 26th. Not just any pale ale, but the pale ale recipe from How to Brew the Perfect American Pale Ale DVD. There were 47 entries in the category, and he won.
Wow. Nice work.
Way to go.
Wow. I don't even think the DVD's still available in the store.
It might not be.
I think we've switched to a model where you have to get it at your local homebrew shop. But then it's only in like one homebrew shop. I think you can go to morebeer.com and get your Pale Ale DVD.
I've seen it at the Firestone store, if anyone's on the Central Coast.
Oh, yeah,
it goes
that's
to
right.
Firestone Walker Brewing.
That's
Find
right.
it there.
Still?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we've only shipped them one shipment.
It's shipped on like 6. Oh, they're selling like hotcakes.
Well, no one eats hotcakes anymore.
They should be selling. You brew a competition-winning pale ale with it.
Yeah. It is a hell of a recipe. Tasty can vouch for that.
It's very tasty.
All right, Pies writes in, I think you should keep going in the Brewcaster Challenge to determine all positions, including the worst of the worst. Haven't we established that already? So that Justin should have a brew-off against the loser of the Jay-Z and Chicken Boy for first place. Or for last place, actually. I don't like this idea. Can't we have to stop the pain somewhere.
It's just beating a dead horse. You're a loser. Again, you're a loser.
The winner of Jay-Z and Chicken Boy would brew against Nate for the 5th, 6th place position. Then Moscow and the loser of JP and Tasty brew for the 3rd, 4th place position. The last challenge, of course, then is Doc versus the winner of the JP Tasty for the title. And the loser gets 2nd place.
Right.
Not only will this make for great radio when Justin jags a win... I don't know what that is.
It's Australian.
Jags a win against a hapless Jay-Z who has given up. But the concept in general has given some great beer information from Pies. Pies, even if we don't do all the loser brackets, it's not as if the Brewcaster Challenge is going away. We'll just start again, is the plan.
I got some good ideas for the next round, too.
Also, other people want in on it. Like, I think Susie wants in on the Brewcaster Challenge. I think we should get Beardy in on the Brewcaster Challenge next round.
After tasting his homebrew, yes, he's definitely in.
Right, yeah.
Easy to beat.
So I think the brackets are going to get bigger.
No problem.
I don't think
did
we
score
should
higher than your beer, though.
I don't think we should keep doing the loser brackets. I think double elimination is how this tournament goes, and I've been eliminated.
Double.
I do like his idea of a bracket, though, where we could have like a final 8.
Yeah.
Which might be where we're at. He's describing something like that. Or
No, he's not. We could do that if we had more brewers. That's still a normal elimination type bracket. He literally wants to know who's in 8th place and 7th place and 6th place.
Oh.
And that's different than doing like
No, we
a
can't do
Sweet 16, Elite 8, Final 4. Like, that's a different thing. Anyway, I mostly just don't want to know that I'm last of the last. It's enough already.
Yeah. How much do you want?
All right, Sent from my Suck a Dick writes in, hey, I've noticed that the BN app is no longer in the iPhone App Store. What gives? Also, you're a cocksmear. Okay. I don't know. It got taken down, and then I contacted the company and filled out whatever they needed me to fill out. That was quite some time ago. They got our Android one fixed because that had disappeared too. That's now back. I have a feeling iTunes is screwing with us, but I'll work on that this week and find out why our app's not back up there, because it should be. It was resubmitted. It just didn't get approved or something. I'll go find out. Thanks for the reminder. All right, Kyle writes in, Mr. I used to date a German. The CH makes a hard K sound. Rauchbier. Okay. Rauchbier.
Yeah. Not Rauch.
It was a long time ago. You think that... Look, that's not all the things I remember about dating a German. I remember how to pronounce fucking Rauchbier.
Yeah.
What do you remember?
When am I going to get some ass?
Yeah.
Watching a lot of poop.
I remember a lot of scat videos.
You mean like the Scat Man?
Yeah. Okay. Carl writes in, I just wanted to reach out to you all and tell you what a great job you do. I was recently at Tappin, New York's largest craft beer festival. don't think it sounds like a tap dancing festival, don't you think?
Yeah.
Hey, we're going to Tappin'.
It's like something Gregory Hines
It's
should...
Tappin' Weekend,
Yay!
everybody! That's a terrible beer fest name. Tap-N, New York's largest craft beer festival. I was partaking in a couple 2-tree amazing brews, and I saw a guy with a BN Army shirt and leaned in to tell my wife, that's the podcast I listened to, and pointed at the guy. Well, he must have overheard my not-so-subtle approach and shouted, hell yeah, man, they're the shit! I wanted you all to know how great the BN Army is.
Sounds like our listeners, yeah.
I would love to hear that story from the wife's point of view. I was having a lovely afternoon with my husband. It was a little dark out, but still really warm.
Right.
And then this aggressive man came and shouted at me. It was really horrible.
Yeah. Couldn't make out what he was saying. He was slurring his words.
Wow,
P.S. JP, I don't think you're a dick, just misunderstood.
No, I agree.
Oh, and did Sugar Valley die? I haven't heard anything great since Wacka Wacka Wacka.
I agree.
Sugar Valley did send a new song, but I vetoed it.
No, wow.
Oh,
what
this
is
is
it
the
like?
second one, right?
I want to cut Bevo's ass and like put it on my face, and then I'll be an ass face. Or
I don't
something?
remember. It might have been. No, it was about Taryn. That's why. He was like,
well, why don't I know about this?
Because here's what I thought. He was like, hey, I feel like Bevo gets the brunt of all the the jokes.
All the jugs?
Junk.
All the junk.
She gets the brunt of everyone's junk.
Yeah, she does.
And so he's like, I thought I would write it about another one. But Taryn's not a part of the show. Like, she doesn't, in my opinion, Bevo's asking for it because she's the dummy who sits in here every week.
Right.
But Taryn does. And I felt like she's off limits.
Right.
Like, just like Kate. Like, it's not that I would be offended by a Kate the Great song, because I don't care. But I wouldn't air it because it's not fair. She's not a character.
She's not a character, right.
So that's why. I remember why.
I still like to hear it, though.
I'll play for you. I don't think I deleted it.
All right.
I don't think it was very. Even still, it also wasn't nice. But
Like, wasn't good?
Yes.
Okay.
Both.
All right.
Anyway.
It was typical.
All right. Joey writes in, hey, Clown Shoes. You mentioned the monthly donation and how it enters you in a More Beer drawing every month and every show. I'd like to get some more info on this. I want to donate, but I also want to win some shit. Why don't you put something on the website in the donation area? How could I even know if I was a winner that month? You would know because we contact the winner directly.
I want to donate,
every
but
month.
I want stuff in return. That's called purchasing. You can just go do it on their website.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't run that kind of game here.
We do a drawing every single month, and we directly, both the Brewing Network and More Beer, contact the winning donor directly every month. And sometimes we announce their name on the show, but it's not really necessary because we just make sure they get their donation. So, Joey, if you haven't gotten an email from us saying you've won, you haven't won. But thank you for your donation. You will, statistically, eventually you'll probably get some shit. Aside from all the shows and the content and JP's humor.
Well, 2 out of 3.
That's all part of your donation, I think, anyway.
Right.
Plus, you might win some. All right, and finally, James writes in from Michigan. Hi, I love the Brewing Network.
Thank you.
I want to keep this short for you. Coors Frost cold brewing was hilarious to us brewers, but now Miller has topped it. They say Miller Fortune is undistilled. I think this should get mentioned on the air because it's so ridiculous. Yeah, this one, I did see this.
All their other beers must be.
What does that mean?
Miller Fortune, undistilled. Yeah. Well, no.
Not brewed on the moon.
In a package you can drink from. We're now really just stating all of the obvious. Miller, unfiltered. We use water.
It's gotten an 86% rating on Rate Beer.
No.
Yeah.
Out of how many?
Wow.
Out of 195 reviews.
But out of 100 is the points? 86 out of 100?
86%.
Oh.
Yeah.
86% positive.
It's like 4.5 stars.
Wow. What's it called?
Miller Fortune. Your fortune awaits.
What kind of beer is it?
I have no idea.
Let's see if it gets mentioned here. It's a commercial.
So far, I love it.
That's one way you could play it. Nothing wrong with 8 hours sleep.
It's very slick looking. I'm thirsty
Get
already.
back in there. Fight the coming of tomorrow. Make it the kind of night most men can only dream of.
What the fuck?
And now he's walking back into the club.
New Miller Fortune. Undistilled with a smooth finish for
There it was.
spirited nights.
Undistilled with a smooth finish.
Who does that sell beer to? Go have a night.
Well, if
that
you're
most
drinking
men
their
would
other
only dream
beers, it
of.
means it's been distilled or something.
That's that's the assumption. I think that some people
maybe they're
have
like
a
stealing
problem
some of the
with.
alcohol out of the beer, like
undistilled with a smooth finish.
Put it in
for
this other beer.
nights.
I heard a
Undistilled.
rumor that it might be barrel aged or something, or they add some bourbon flavor maybe, and so that might be why they say it's undistilled, so people don't think, oh, this is a liquor.
I think you're giving them too much credit.
I think so too. I think they're just treating us like we're idiots.
Absolutely. It's just like a
they've been
little
doing for years.
catchphrase.
Yeah.
Really? Can they do that? I mean, it's like ridiculous.
They can say whatever they want.
I mean, technically, it's undistilled, so they can do whatever they want.
They add.
I
Oh no! Okay, never mind. Sorry.
What do they add?
I made a mistake.
Well, that's really sad if the consumer is. Oh my God!
Should we try it since it has an 86% rating?
It's 6.9% alcohol.
some of that
What if it's good? I'd rather just hate their marketing than maybe the beer's okay.
No, if they made a good beer, that would destroy everything.
It would.
Yeah, I hope they never do.
Yeah.
Oh, that seems like they don't plan to either.
Yeah,
I'll bring in a 6-pack next week.
Maybe just one.
It seems like their marketing is trying to capture the people who are drinking spirits.
Okay,
and so they're starting. It seems just briefly scanning this marketing article. They're trying to use those words.
Yeah, but it's the opposite then by saying undistilled.
Right.
Yeah, but they're still trying to get that same language into their marketing. So I think you got to get on the radar of those people.
I go, oh. It's like distilled, but not.
I forgot what "un" means.
Well, I like distilled.
They're geniuses over there. The marketing team or the brewery team. Guys, I got an idea.
Let's make beer taste like beer.
We're gonna make a beer that tastes like beer, and we're not gonna distill it.
Stay with me.
We'll call it not distilled. No, that's no good.
Doesn't work.
That's not flashy enough.
Pre-distilled. No, that's not gonna work. Never, ever, ever distilled.
That's too many words.
Undistilled.
Perfect.
You're a genius.
Let's go to lunch.
We asked, how would Jack Daniels or Maker's Mark do a beer, and why, says David Kroll, who was recruited from appliance maker Dyson in 2012 to shake things up at Miller Coors' head of innovation.
Wait, can I just answer the question how they would do a beer?
Yeah.
They would take wash, and instead of distilling it, they would ferment it into beer.
Right.
So what was... That's it.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. That's how they'd make a beer.
Oh, you mean a malt liquor?
Yeah. Anyway. Fuck Miller.
It's it's really weird. I can't figure out what, but to Beardy's point, I can't figure out what it is.
By the way, Miller, if you'd like to sponsor the show.
Or, Justin, would you like to do any of their voiceovers?
Buy the show.
Yeah. Try it. Undistilled.
Undistilled. For a night out that only other men dream they wish they had with you. Wait a second. That's not how it sounds.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
It sounds like they're trying to bill it as a beer, a craft beer, basically, as a beer that you can drink like a spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're going.
Why did I say that?
What does that mean?
Fortune is a golden lager
sip on
brewed
it?
in part with Cascade hops to give it a citrusy bite and caramel malt to impart an amber hue. Developed with guys aged 21 to 27 in mind, the flavor is moderately bitter with hints of sweetness, resting somewhere between a full-flavored craft beer and a light lager. The flavors emerge even more as the rocks glass warms the hand, Manuel says. I don't know what
rocks glass.
I don't know what that is. They quote, "They are going to hold a beer glass in a way they haven't held a beer glass before."
So
Fuck, I hope they do that. I hope I go to a bar and there's a bunch of 21 to 27 dickheads standing around with a rock glass full of Miller undistilled.
And then the next paragraph starts out with, "Such innovation may not be enough." Innovation? What, drinking a beer?
Making a pale lager and calling it undistilled.
My world is just turned upside down.
Craft beer is dead.
Some innovation.
It was going so well.
And then they're interviewing people.
Now
You'll be able to identify the losers in a bar really quick that way.
Laura Birkin, 26, prefers vodka and water or Jameson's Irish whiskey neat during nights out with her friend. Yeah, because Jameson's is so.
Where are you reading this from?
Bloomberg Business.
Right. I can't take it anymore.
I get bloated and it ruins my night. Beer is very filling, says Burbican. Get out of here.
All right. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Base Camp Brewing Company, we'll talk about some real beer. None of it's distilled, I promise. Hang in there, it's the session. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Brewcasters. On the Brewing Network.
Since the first time the Brewing Network microphones turned on, More Beer was behind it. More Beer sponsors the programming on the BN because, like you, they love brewing. And like the Brewing Network, they love sharing their knowledge. Morebeer.com isn't just a website to place your next equipment or ingredient order. Morebeer.com also gives you access to free beer information that will make you a better brewer. Go to morebeer.com and click into the Learning Center. You'll find podcasts, technical facts, video tutorials, and more, including access to The Buzz, More Beer's social network of more than 5,000 members. And some of them might even be crazier about beer than you are. Get over to morebeer.com today and take advantage of The Buzz, the forum, the Learning Center, and make sure you're signed up to receive the newest More Beer catalog. More Beer, bringing you absolutely everything for beer making.
Hi, I'm Jamel Zanishev, and in addition to my work on the Brewing Network, I write the Style Profile column in every issue of Brew Your Own magazine.
Hi, I'm Sean Paxton, and when I'm not prepping for the Homebrewed Chef on the Brewing Network, you can find me writing articles on how to cook with your homebrew for Brew Your Own magazine.
Greetings, cretins. This is John Palmer, and when I'm not writing for Brew Your Own, I'm reading it.
John Palmer, Sean Paxton, Jamil Zanishev. If you love listening to them on the Brewing Network, you'll love reading their articles, tips, and recipes in the pages of Brew Your Own magazine. Join Jamil, John, and Sean 8 times a year in Brew Your Own. And when you subscribe to BYO on the Brewing Network website, half of your subscription price goes right back to the BN to support great beer and food programming. So sign up for Brew Your Own magazine through the BN website today so you can listen and read your way to better homebrew.
The 21st Amendment. Watch out! Do you like beer? They make beer. Watch out! Do you like friends and fun? They make friends and fun. Watch out! Do you still like to have a good time? The 21st Amendment. Watch out!
The 21st Amendment in San Francisco, located at 563 2nd Street, 2 blocks from the building where baseball is seen and played. Try their beers in the pub or try them in the can, featuring Monk's Blood. Made with real monk. Watch out! So why not have the best time of your life? Go to the 21A and Sean O'Sullivan will personally greet you with a can of
Monk's Blood. The 21st Amendment. Watch out!
This advertisement is not in any way affiliated nor associated with the 21st Amendment Bar and Pub, nor its subsidiaries or affiliates. This telecast is not copywritten by the 21st Amendment for the private use of the Brewing Network. Any use of this telecast without Jamil Zanishev's consent is prohibited. Suck it, JP.
A vial of White Labs yeast is the key to your best beer. When you open a vial of White Labs yeast, you're giving your beer its best chance for a perfect fermentation. In addition to their already incredible variety of yeast, White Labs is proud to announce WLP 90, San Diego's super yeast, now available year-round. WLP 90 is super clean, super fast fermenting, with low esters and has a neutral flavor and aroma profile. It's alcohol tolerant and highly flocculent. For more of the latest White Labs news, click over to whitelabs.com, where you can read reviews of yeast, learn in the lab section, and join the customer club. And if you should find yourself in San Diego, White Labs has a brand new training facility for craft brewers and home brewers alike. whitelabs.com. Discover yeast, nutrients, enzymes, and more for commercial breweries, home brewers, and homebrew stores. White Labs. It's all in the vial. A few things happened 30 years ago.
ARPANET migrated to TCP/IP, and the Internet was born. Revenge of the Jedi was renamed Return of the Jedi and opened in theaters. Mila Kunis and Emily Blunt were born, beginning a rad fantasy in my mind.
But all of that pales next to the fact that HopTech opened its doors and began blowing homebrewers right out of their mash tuns. HopTech doesn't fuck around. Real people shipping awesome shit straight to you. Their new website is fast and easy to navigate. Or just call 800-379-4677 and let
badass bitch Jade and Brewing brother Roberto blow their warm load of customer service all over you. So visit the site or visit the store in Dublin, California, and support those that support you. Get your brewing on at hoptech.com.
This is www.thebrewingnetwork.com.
Sit down next to it, grab yourself a paper towel, and watch those yeast have sex.
You're listening to the Brewing Network.
The session. Brewing up our next batch of radio gold. Right now.
All right, welcome back to the program, and thanks for hanging out with us. Appreciate it very much. Hey, let me let you know real quick, if you go over to homebrewstuff.com right now, you can check out their new promotion this month. Upgrade to kegs. It's time to keg your beer, kids.
Yeah, get over it.
Summer's coming. You brew now, put it in kegs, you're good to go for the whole summer. When it's too hot, everybody starts complaining. Like, we've listened to, oh, it's too cold for like 4 or 5 months now. Now it starts, oh, it's too hot. Oh, I'm so hot all the time. Anyway, brew all your beer now before it gets too hot, and we listen to you complain about it. And then upgrade to kegs. You can serve fresh beer on tap all summer long. You'll never go back. It was the best move I ever made. And to this day, it was like the second move I made in brewing. Mm-hmm. It's still the best move I've ever made.
Absolutely.
Everything else has been a fail.
And they're only getting more expensive.
Oh, yeah.
So get your kegs now.
Do it now.
Yeah.
So go to homebrewstuff.com, check it out. There's a promotions button right there on the homepage, and click it, and you'll find all sorts of deals on how to upgrade to kegs in May. All right, Basecamp Brewing Company is in the studio with us. We got 3 of you in the studio, which is cool. You guys drove down from Oregon. We've got Paul, the head brewer.
It's great to be here.
We've got Krister, and then we've got Ross, both on the sales and distribution side, right?
What's up? Yes.
Getting the
Thanks
beer
for having
out.
us.
Thank you for coming out. I got to meet you guys at the Boonville Beer Festival.
Yes, I remember that.
You've been barely, yeah. Even to I was like, shit. When they get here, I hope I recognize them because it was the Boonville Beer Festival. You guys have been on a big road trip, though.
Yeah, we started off last week, and we're making our way down Oregon and down here in California, and keep on going south for a couple of days, and big loop around back up to Oregon, Washington, Canada.
Yeah. Has the Westie broken down at all on this trip yet?
It's not wanting to start about 13 times, but
what do you do then? You just keep cranking on it?
Yeah, and we kick it a couple times too.
They respond well to kicking.
Park on a hill, I guess.
They're the best and the worst vehicle for long trips. They're great. They have everything you need, and you can sleep. You're not staying in hotels, obviously, so you're saving money.
Yeah, totally. We've been on the road and sleep in the most beautiful spots the West Coast has to offer.
Yeah,
sure.
Like Martinez.
I can tell that you guys. I can tell that you guys at least did like a wipe down this morning, so I thank you for that.
we luckily got 2 showers in after Boonville.
Nice.
Yes.
That's 2 showers in one day. You need them.
Yeah.
You just take them right after each other. You turn off the water, you wait 10 minutes, and you shower again.
Right.
Yeah.
You really need it. Well, Tasty, we had a good time at Boonville, yeah?
Kind of a hella good time, man.
And a lot of good breweries there. We camped with the Faction people, so we had some of their beer on tap. We got to meet you fine folks there. Did you guys have any favorites from the beer fest worth talking about? I have trouble remembering, to be honest with you.
I had a really tasty ESB from Marin.
Oh, from Marin?
Yeah.
Yeah, they make some really good beer over there. Arnie's a good brewer. Society was there. You know, we love Society, and they brought 4 different beers. Every single one of them was pretty amazing. There was some bad beer. You know, we tried some new breweries, and there was a couple that need a little help.
That's too bad.
We were looking for cider, too. You guys like cider?
Yeah, totally.
We were looking for cideries because we want to carry cider at the tap house. We don't have wines, just craft beer. So, chicks dig cider. So you got to put something on tap. Tried like 3 different cideries. 2 of them, out of the park. Fantastic. 1 of them, worst thing I ever drank in my life. Spit it out right in front of him. On accident. I didn't mean to.
Right.
Spit it out right.
That means even more.
And I just played off. I was like, it went down the wrong pipe. You know how you do that? And, but overall, the experience was pretty good. Your first time to Boonville?
That was actually our second time getting down there.
Okay.
First one was sort of a shit show. It was 5 months after we opened. It was like, yeah, well, let's head down there.
Let's go try it.
Yeah, we planned a lot better this year for sure. Yeah, we sent kind of a haphazard group of 5 down a year ago and didn't really bring anything with us. And we had a great time, but didn't represent the company as well as we did this year.
We actually brought food this time, too, which is a huge plus.
That is a plus.
Good.
Eating is good.
Yeah, it really helps.
I ate 3 meals this time, and I never do that. I start drinking, and then you're not hungry, and then you know it the next day. I ate this time, so that was good. How long has Base Camp been around then?
We're going on a year and a half. April 2nd of 2013, we opened up the doors finally.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how long were you guys planning Base Camp before you got open?
It was a couple years before that, and it was actually these guys who were the kind of the original 4. So you could answer that question.
We know your heartbreak with thinking we're going to open a little early. I remember the summer before we put up a nice sign, Base Camp coming soon. Then it went through the winter and weathered. And next summer, it was like, well, I guess
some
we
of the
should
words
take that down.
like wiped off. Just said Base Camp coming.
Base Camp.
Soon is relative anyway.
At some point, we're going to be there.
Yeah.
And then we got thrown up on Google. It's like, yeah, they're open. Customers coming. It's like, well, this is where the tap room will be. And
right.
We got fermenters lay on their side, and not open. It was about 3 years of construction and planning and all that good stuff before we actually opened. Yeah.
Okay, so that really is a long timeline then to get it done.
Totally.
And part of the problem too is, when you put up a sign and you tell people it's happening, this is the great thing about having a local brewery, and in our case a local tap house, is that the community does get excited. Like they want you to open, but the questions never stop. When are you opening? When are you opening? When are you opening?
We're so lucky to be in southeast Portland, right behind the Buckman Kearns neighborhood, and we have this huge, great neighborhood right behind us, and there's a bunch of folks, foot traffic coming along the sides. It's like stepping in, like, hey, I hear this brewery coming in here at some point, and we're like, yeah, at some point,
right? Did you ever worry that like another brewery was going to open up right there? My brain does that. Like I'm like, someone's going to. If we don't do this soon, someone's going to open up right next door, and then it's all a waste.
Well, at this point now, you just assume that's going to happen. There's another one on that block.
Yeah. It is freaking Portland.
But
how do you afford to have a 3-year construction? I mean, that's tough because you're not right. That's really tough. You're not making money and you're spending money. And did you guys have a pretty big budget to do that, or
we have a lot of loving friends and family?
Okay, helping out and investing in the company.
Well, and I mean that was in the budget too.
It was okay.
Yeah, I mean having a year of being open and the whole
deal.
I came off a summer job and like saving up money to make the big move to Portland, and trying to spend money wisely, drinking beer and not eating.
Right.
But yeah, it's we got lucky in a lot of ways, and yeah.
I think the bottom line is, when you're at that phase of the company, you're doing things as cheaply as you can and recruiting as many friends and family to help with the whole process as you can. And working long hours, and just making kind of, making everything work. Because that's the only option.
That's right.
$5 pizzas go a long ways.
Yeah. Were part of the delays, things out of your hands, permitting and the building needing to be retrofitted, things like that?
Totally, yeah. We I think we were 268 days on city permits and about a year build out. That
wow.
I mean, we were going as heavy handed as possible, like late night, doing a bunch of stuff. But it was still at the end of the day, we had this huge building that had like very little infrastructure that had to be built out in the way that a brewery needs to be. So yeah.
Okay, but you liked the location, or you otherwise liked the building? I mean, why that spot?
Yeah, we love the location. I mean, it's a neighborhood that a lot of us live in, and it's kind of an up-and-coming neighborhood on the east side of the river in Portland, so it's just on the opposite side of downtown, and a really kind of fun, lively, up-and-coming neighborhood. We're lucky to be there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's I mean, biasly speaking, it's the best side, or the best little sector of Portland right now. It's we got wineries, we got coffee shops, we got restaurants, food carts. It's
Do you have people on bicycles? Do people ride bicycles around there?
We've even got unicycles coming down the street. Yeah.
Of course, Portland. Right. Unicycle walking. My favorite story about Portland is our friends at Flattail. They're in Corvallis and they were doing some sales or whatever in Portland, and dude saw a guy walking his goat. You ever see the goat? You ever see goat people?
Yeah, we've got a goat herd right down the street.
Nice. We work with some folks that I think they just got evicted to put in a supermarket or something, but they had 13, 14 goats in the inner southeast.
I think I've been there. I think I've seen that goat herd. I swear. Last time I was there, someone was like, "You should go see the goats."
Just like in like a residential.
Yeah, well, sort of.
They're a vacant block. Yeah,
that's it. I was there. Unless there are multiple goat herds,
there might be. Yeah.
It is Portland.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow, 200 something days through the permit process.
Well, I guess that makes sense. Sorry about the. I mean, you have dog parks.
Yeah.
Why not goat parks? Maybe that's just what it is. And,
yeah.
It's a run for goat.
Goat park. Thank you, JP. I was changing topics.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't care. I didn't care at that point because it was really funny to me.
Scott deals with our permitting, and our permitting process was about 30 days. And he's a maniac. You should hear him. He's flipping out all the time, and he can't understand it, and his face turns red. And he's like, was it 4 months? Yeah, but that one you didn't freak out about. It was the final approval one where they said, we have 30 days to do this. And every day we talk to Scott about it, and he can't fathom that anything takes more than an hour to do. And he's flipping his lid. So I can just imagine, I don't think he would have lived through a 200-something day process.
Well, because I'm sure the city has nothing else to do. They're all just waiting idly by for your paperwork to come across. Oh, I have something to do now! Great!
Right.
I'm sure if Justin was down here, a few of these things would be
in ruins.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what made you decide to even open a brewery? All home brewers before?
So Justin and I had been both, professional brewers for I'd been in the industry about 7 years before I came over with Basecamp. We all grew up together.
Okay.
And so had kind of a cumulative brewing past with Justin and I. And Justin, this is Justin's company to start with. It's kind of his brainchild. And, he kind of wanted to focus this company on, one good beer, focusing on lagers, and then kind of bring in the outdoor industry as to kind of a part of the sense of the brand.
Okay.
And kind of from there, we all just kind of organically got back together. We're all childhood friends. It just so happens. And so we all kind of established our friendships, in our mid to late 20s to kind of build this thing together.
Right.
And then it happened.
Oh, you should enjoy it now because you won't be friends in another year or two.
Yeah, it's possible.
So. We made it through the toughest time.
Yeah, exactly.
You've already been through all that.
Yeah.
And Paul, head brewer, what's your brewing background?
So I went to the Siebel Institute World Brewers Academy program and did that and met some great people and drank a lot of good beers.
Is that the one that sends you to Germany?
Yeah.
It is.
Just about 2 months in Chicago and 2 months in Munich, Germany. Roughly.
Nice. Okay.
And then came back home to Portland and kind of kicked around a lot of resumes and wound up at Rogue for about a year and worked there with John.
Not a bad place to end up.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
It was great there, kind of learning from him. And then did pretty much all I could do in Newport, kind of as a young man, and was ready to come back to Portland when Bridgeport gave me a call, and I spent about 5 years there with.
I also like that brewery quite
Jeff
a bit.
Ederson at Bridgeport, and
okay,
and then was kind of ready for the next challenge in my professional career, and got back in touch with Justin and these guys, and came on over about 2 years ago.
Got it. So the brewery, the concept, it sounds like, is lager based. Only lagers?
No.
Okay.
We're kind of lager first, but
Okay.
not at all. We like to kind of explore all of the brewing histories and kind of try to put our own stamp on historical styles.
Okay. Well, I think an example we can start with is the beer in our glass now, which is a rye pils.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about that beer.
17% rye malt in this, and we kind of use rye malt to play off some Northwest Noble type hops to kind of add varying layers of spiciness to a pretty assertive, pretty over the top bitter from historical pils standards.
Yeah.
But kind of finishing clean, and nonetheless a nice clean lager beer.
I like this beer quite a bit. And I think that the rye, it does help you balance out the bit, even though you're adding more hops to go a little more bitter. It's a pretty nice balance.
It's kind of a fun play because we kind of add more of the same character to actually balance something out. So that we get the spicy hop character and the spicy rye character, and it kind of play together to make them both kind of balance in a weird way.
So is it only Pilsner malt and rye malt?
Little Dexter pills, but yep.
Okay, got it. And what about yeast? What kind of yeast do you like?
We use our house lager yeast, which is of Czechoslovakian origin. It's a Czech Pils strain that we have used in our house since the beginning.
You like this beer, Tasty?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a fan of rye beers. I didn't used to be.
It's nice and big. I think it's 5.7%.
Yeah.
Really good.
That's where I like my pills. Big. Get one 22-ounce bottle of yours, and everybody's fine.
That's the idea.
It really stays cold. Man, that's great. Great packaging.
So, out of how many beers do you have in your lineup?
Right now we have 13 beers on tap in the tap room. We have 4.
And how many are lagers?
We have 4 core beers. Of those, 3 are lagers.
Okay.
And gosh, over I think 12 beers in the tap room right now. I think about 8 or 9 are lagers. So that's a pretty indicative kind of survey sample of what we do.
Yeah.
We definitely do a lot of ales, and we're working with a couple, actually 3 different yeast strains right now. But we have basically our house ale and house lager, and occasionally we bring in a Belgian yeast strain to toy around with for a while.
Okay.
In our first year and a half, we probably went through about 40 different beers.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. Oh, wow. I mean, a lot of one-offs, but...
What size is the
system
a lot of fun. That allows you to do that?
We knock out about 25 barrels, but we can tone that down to 20 barrels if we want to restrain for one release. But yeah, we pretty much knock out about 25 barrels per brew.
So you guys must be moving a lot of beer to have that many different varieties, but be brewing at least 20 barrels at a time.
Yeah, we're rocking right along. It's
good.
It's been a fun last year and a half, and we've seen obviously record months time and time again, and keep on going.
Yeah, it's cool to be growing every month for sure. And we're doing something right if that happens.
Yeah.
Now, do you have a tap room, or do you just otherwise it's any bottling going outside, or just cakes?
Yeah, we've got a tap room out front, about 100-person capacity in the tap room, and then we've got a patio that we just expanded out for about another 100 people. And we have a distribution set up through parts of California, Oregon, Washington, British Columbia, and Vermont.
Are you guys in Northern California here?
We are, yeah. We're up in Mount Shasta area, South Bay, and Tahoe.
Okay.
So we're kind of the philosophy behind the distribution is we're sending beer places that we want to go.
Right.
And so
except for the South Bay.
Santa Cruz is down there. It's good stuff.
Oh, Santa Cruz will work. Okay, yeah. I'll give you that.
And so
got some cool spots to get there, though.
Yeah, so we've been cruising down, like you said earlier. We just jumped in the Westie last week and been cruising down Oregon, California, and just doing different events all throughout the area.
Okay. Do you guys have more fermenters than maybe a normal ale brewery so that you can do this?
Not really. So we have 5 primary fermenters and 4 lager tanks.
Okay.
So we have to be pretty creative to move beers through the system in order to do what we do for sure. And we do some interesting cellar techniques with our lagers too that I'd love to get into. That kind of makes.
I'd like to hear about them, yeah.
Well, let's do this. I want to do that, too. Let's take a break.
Okay.
I got to take care of some commercials. We'll take a break. I would love to talk lager techniques. Tasty has his own tips and tricks on lager, so it'll be fun to compare some notes.
Cool. Yeah, that sounds great.
All right, let's do that. We got Basecamp Brewing in the studio with us. We're going to try some more beer. You can go to basecampbrewingco.com, basecampbrewingco.com, and check them out. We got events happening on your trip. I know you're doing something tomorrow, so we'll talk about that when we come back, too, and make sure everybody knows where they can go find Basecamp. Hang in there. It's The Session. We'll be right back.
Listening to the Brewcasters. On the Brewing Network.
Craft Beer and Brewing Magazine is the new go-to source for home brewing enthusiasts and anyone passionate about craft beer. Each new issue is full of inspiration, recipes, and techniques for home brewing, cooking and pairing food with beer, and features from craft brewers and the world of craft beer. More than 120 full-color pages of content, quarterly releases, and annual specials. Get practical advice from brewing experts, equipment reviews, great interviews, and much more. There's a new craft beer magazine available right now. Craft Beer and Brewing Magazine on newsstands now. Visit www.beerandbrewing.com. Subscribe now and get your limited edition bottle opener free today. Craft Beer and Brewing Magazine, the new word in craft beer and brewing.
That's it. I've had it. I am never
ever putting hops in my beer again.
What? Why?
It's just too ridiculous. Insane prices, stupid contracts, high shipping costs, crappy selection.
Dude, you need Nico Brew.
Nico Brew will rock your f***ing face right the f*** off your f***ing skull. $5 shipping to all 50 states. Plus fantastic international rates get you low prices on Nico Brew's great selection of hops and more. Whether you're a home brewer, a pro brewer, or a homebrew shop owner, Nico Brew can get you the hops you need in increments big and small. Single orders, spot buys, or full contracts. And there's only one place to join the uber special secret elite bare bones club where you'll get the best deals anywhere.
Holy shit!
NicoBrew.com. NIKOBREW. Nico Brew, your bare bones buddy in the brewing business.
Hey guys, JP here from the Brewing Network. On the show, you've heard us talk about the importance of using the right malts and the freshest ingredients possible when brewing up a batch of beer. As a BJCP judge, I'm always impressed when brewers make European beer styles and choose the proper base malts, something that really comes through in the finished product. BSG supplies your favorite local shop with malt from maltsters like Bayerman and Rar. These malts are the real deal for the most authentic beers possible.
BSG, Brewer Supply Group, is the source for quality malts. Crisp, Simpsons, and Patagonia are more of the amazing maltsters BSG brings to you. From Pilsners to Porters, use the right malts for every style of beer with malt from BSG. BSG, quality malt for a quality beer.
Williams Brewing is your online resource for prompt delivery of quality home brewing supplies. Since 1979, Williams Brewing has offered the finest equipment and the freshest ingredients, backed by the best customer service in the business. New items include the Big Oxygen Kit for economical wort aeration using common welding oxygen tanks, and the Unistat line of external thermostats for easy control of both electric heaters and refrigerators. In addition, they've just mashed their new oatmeal stout malt extract, so you can make those tasty winter oatmeal stouts and porters without mashing. Go to williamsbrewing.com today and browse their vast selection. That's williamsbrewing.com. Orders placed by 4 p.m. Pacific Time weekdays ship the same day. Brewing is easy. The Williams way.
Hey, Wooly, I'm beat. Can we find a nice tree to just hang out in for a while?
You're beat. I've been swinging through this forest for 50 years, ever since we first escaped from the circus. I know, but there's got to be more to life than exploring this creek and trying to populate the valley by copulating with loose, hairy girls. Marquis, stop. Look!
What is that?
It looks like a man-made treehouse.
With fresh food.
And craft beer.
Welcome to the Creek Monkey Tap House, boys. Grab a seat. Creek Monkeys drink free.
Awesome!
The Creek Monkey Tap House in Martinez, California takes their mission of fresh food and beer seriously. They only serve locally raised beef and chicken, as well as local sustainable produce. It's better for you and the planet, and it just tastes better. The beer and wine at Creek Monkey Tap House are chosen with the same care for the highest quality and rotate frequently to make each visit an adventure. Yeah. Swing on into the Creek Monkey Tap House and enjoy a new legend of amazing food, beer, and wine. The Creek Monkey Tap House, online at creekmonkey.com.
Hilo, what's it feel like?
Take awesome and multiply it by 2.
Yeah!
Spraying live beer radio all over your face.
Can't get any better than this, baby.
It's the Brewing Network.
Tuned into this session
because life's too short to listen to crappy radio.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking around. Got Basecamp Brewing Company in the studio with us. I want to remind you about the all-new wireless hydrometer and thermometer coming out called the Brewometer. The Brewometer. It's being funded on Kickstarter right now. It's pretty badass. It's a little device that essentially floats in your carboy. It connects via Bluetooth to your smart devices, and it kind of floats sideways. And based on the angle of the float, it'll actually give you the gravity of your beer. It'll give you the temperature of your beer, so you can monitor fermentation. It'll give you a whole readout of how fermentation is going when it does that. And you never have to. I think the real point being is you don't have to pop open the top of your carboy to get back in there and take a sample out. So less chance of contamination as it's all sealed up. Or if you use a conical like me and you're really stingy with your beer, I don't even like taking samples out of the port because I feel like that's a couple ounces of beer every time.
Right.
And after I've sampled it several times, that's a whole pint that I'm missing that I won't drink as a finished beer. And you don't have to keep taking samples this way.
That's great.
You can go over to Kickstarter.com and search for the Brewometer. It's easy to use and sends data to your iOS or Android device. Kickstarter.com, search Brewometer and check it out.
Paul, I think I found your next birthday present right there.
Yeah, I want to put those in our tanks. That sounds pretty damn cool.
It's pretty sweet, right? Yeah. You could just, even though you'd probably still, like as a pro, you're still going to take samples.
Yeah, we'll take them daily, but
nice
I can
monitor.
wake up at night, and if I'm having a little panic about some fermentation, I'll know.
Absolutely.
Well, the logger method I use for loggers is based on what a certain percent of final gravity. So I got to know what it is. When I make beer that way, I have to take a sample every day.
Yeah.
Or if you have some catastrophic equipment failure, you see the temperature start rising on your beer.
Yeah.
You could use that to be 24-hour notice.
Need a little alarm to go off. Yeah.
Really. Well,
middle of the night.
Snooze and you're still screwed.
I can't. Oh. All of you. So Scott's saying everyone should go make a donation because it is still being funded so that we can actually get this thing in our hand. All right, so let's talk lager techniques. It sounds like you have to do some creative things to make it happen over there.
Yeah, we kind of, we had, because of that whole permitting issue, it gave us a lot of time to kind of mess around with our recipes on the pilot system and really dial them in. And what we came along with kind of with our lager beers was kind of this fun little lagering technique that we like to use, which is it's basically a bulk krausening technique, but we do that at the beginning of the lagering phase as opposed to at packaging. So what we do is we add a small percentage of, actively fermenting beer within 24 hours of pitching the wort. We'll add that to the finished beer at the beginning of the lagering phase, and thereby creating some natural carbonation that carries through to the finished product, of course. But more importantly, adding some healthy, active, viable lager yeast in at the beginning of our lagering phase, and then slowly cool that tank down from there to a temperature above what most breweries do as kind of a cold conditioning lagering.
Okay.
So it ensures that, again, that we have that, healthy interaction of lager yeast in beer, albeit slowly, but, not just a crash cold conditioning phase, but we have kind of a true lagering phase, knowing that our lager yeast is active on the beer throughout the whole phase.
Wow.
So it kind of, it just ensures that we have, amplifies and kind of accentuates our lager character through that, the use of that technique.
So let me make sure I understand this. And Tasty, you should help me too. When you say lagering phase, to me that means you still have your normal, your primary fermentation, all right, at a lager temperature, of course, but then you transfer it over to a vessel where it sits cold.
Correct.
But you're typically not doing that until you've reached terminal gravity. Is that about a traditional way to do it, or
That's
I have
correct.
that wrong?
Yeah.
So you're
absolutely.
saying that you would transfer to that lagering phase before you've reached terminal gravity?
No, so we'll reach terminal gravity in the original beer, in the main beer, and then we'll transfer that beer to its lagering vessel, and then we'll add in a small portion of actively fermenting fresh beer that was brewed the day before. So by that small addition, of course, the gravity of the
will jump a little,
which then ferments out. But then that lagering, the lager yeast through the fermentation of the residual fermentables, ensures again that we have that active, healthy lager yeast to both create that natural carbonation through the fermentation of the residuals, but also to interact with the beer, ensure reduction of diacetyl, and do some other kind of more subtle techniques of
cleaning it up,
sulfur, and exactly kind of refining and clarifying the flavor and the beer itself.
It's an interesting technique.
It's like I said, something we just kind of stumbled upon, and it worked really well, and we decided to run with it.
What do you think of that, Tasty?
That sounds great. You're basically taking the beer at a point where the only yeast it has in it are those that are kind of tired and worn out, adding in some friends that are ready to rock and roll. So yeah,
exactly.
It probably shortens the lagering phase by quite a bit.
It does. Yeah, I mean, it allows us to do a lot of things with the beers from that point. it allows us to still kind of give a cold conditioning phase to any beers that need it, any kind of higher gravity beers. But yeah, it does for the more straightforward lower gravity lagers to absolutely cut the lagering phase a little short, because the lagering phase is done so quickly because the healthy active yeast has done the job faster.
Sure.
Are you you were saying that's done at a little bit warmer temperature than would be typical for a lagering?
It's done above 32 degrees. The temperature itself is proprietary, but yeah, we do it at a temperature where that lager yeast is still active. Right. So it's between 32 degrees, of course, and the temperature of our yeast in primary fermentation.
Between 32 and 132. It's very proprietary.
Between 0 Kelvin and
right. Yeah.
Okay. And it probably the yeast that you use is probably a dependent variable in that temperature as well.
Absolutely. I mean, with any lager brewing, of course, the lager yeast itself, or with any brewing period, the yeast itself is kind of the most dependent variable in fermentation and conditioning.
Right. And are you using a Bo Pils yeast?
A Czech Pils of origin. Yep.
Great.
But you add the Kreuzen at fermentation temp before you start knocking.
Slightly lower than our primary fermentation temp, but yeah, negligibly so.
Okay.
And then you go ahead and you do still crash it down from there.
So we cool it down to its lagering temperature, which is warmer than its crash temperature.
Okay.
And then after the lagering phase is over, we'll crash that down to 32 degrees and hold it indefinitely until packaging time.
Was it difficult to figure out how much of this unfinished beer, this fermenting beer, to add, to get this process down?
It was, and again, that's kind of one of the blessings of having 200 and however many days of permitting, time to deal with. Yeah. It gave us a lot of time to toy around with these kind of things. And yeah, it took a process of trial and error for sure. But
what were you doing the experimentation on? Were you doing it on the brew house? Did you have the brew house in there, or
that was the pilot brewery? Yeah, the original pilot brewery, which was basically an old kegs converted. But Justin, our owner, and one of our other brewers modified that with some electric burners. So it was a pretty highly controlled keg rim system.
But basically a half-barrel homebrew system.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
yep.
Good. So you did it. It's not like you were making 20. I mean,
no.
I would think that the neighborhood was getting a lot of free beer if you had.
We were drinking well, but yeah. It wasn't a crazy amount of beer that we were producing at that time.
Okay. It seems like it'd be hard to overpitch, but did you when you do like were you doing cell counts now to see how much to?
Absolutely, yeah. We and actually our third brewer currently in there, Austin Neen, we kind of stole him from Pyramid, and he was a lab manager over there. So yeah, he's kind of gotten our QC program going, and we all know the basics from brewing school, but he was really able to step in immediately and kind of institute things like our cell counts and our lab platings, microbiological platings, and things like that we're doing, which we're really proud of, because I think a lot of breweries of our age and size aren't doing these things. So it's cool to it makes it a lot easier for us to sleep at night knowing that we have these going on.
So you're doing a measured pitch for your Kreuzen editions.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, we're doing a percentage of actively fermenting beer for the Kreuzen edition. For all of our primary pitches, we're doing a measured pitch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I mean it's virtually a measured Kreuzen edition, because the primary pitch is measured and it's done, at between 18 and 26 hours or so of actively fermenting beer. So it's it's a negligible amount of difference variance either way on the actual cell count going into the lagering phase.
Mm-hmm. So how much have you shortened your time to put out a lager?
I mean, it's hard to say, really. I mean, with lager beers, obviously you're tasting and it's ready when it's ready.
Yeah.
So it's really impossible to say how we've shortened the process, and that's still what we do, of course, is taste and taste, and when it's ready, it's ready. So it's I can't really answer that.
But
question.
it doesn't sound like you'd go through the trouble if there wasn't some benefit. Obviously, the cleaning of the beer is a benefit, but it sounds like it cleans it a little faster. So if your average lager time, if your average brewery is putting out lagers in 6 to 8 weeks, I mean.
If I had to guess, I'd say a week to 2 weeks, depending on the beer. But it's just
that's a lot of time for a pro.
Absolutely. I mean, it definitely frees up our capacity and lets us do a lot of more fun things, both with the lagers and with the ales, because we have more free tank space that way.
Sure.
Do you guys have to filter with the compressed lagering time?
We're kind of anti-filtering on a philosophical level. We believe in we create spend a lot of time creating those flavors that are in the beer, and we don't want to risk stripping any of them out. And if the beer has a little bit of a haze to it, we're okay with that. We definitely, it spends enough time in the lagering tanks and our ales. We crash them and ensure that they're as clear as possible, and ennure that our consistency is fine there.
Yeah.
But we don't want to strip any flavors out of our beer first and foremost.
No finings either.
No,
nothing.
No, I mean we add kettle finings, but no cellar finings.
Okay. Jesus didn't like filters anyway.
No, absolutely. That's what we think.
Right, Bevo? I think I read that somewhere.
In his kettle, he was only for kettle findings.
Yeah.
Everything else is fucking bullshit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I think I read that somewhere.
So I've got a wit beer in my glass, right?
That's correct. Our take on a wit beer, yeah.
Lost Meridian Wit. Tell us about this beer.
So this uses our house ale yeast, so one of our ales, and we've been messing around with this really awesome new hop out of Oregon. We've got about 95% of our hops coming out of the farms in Oregon now, and this is a great example of one of the great new aroma varieties, the Meridian variety, which we get from one of our purveyors up there. And we use it to kind of emulate the coriander and orange peel spice. So you still kind of get to the same place, and it kind of has a very unique kind of champagne mimosa-like character with the kind of the dry wit beer style with kind of some orange citrus kind of character going on. But it's all wit beer and dry hops.
So none of the spices, no orange peel, nothing.
Right.
It is more subtle than had you added the spices, right? Like it's definitely not like I'm glad you said it's our take on a wit. So
certainly,
but you're right. It has a great orange flavor. I'm not sure about the coriander's the one that's
I'm not getting much coriander,
that's missing, but that's the strong one as a spice, right?
Sure.
So that would be hard to emulate with the. But I do like this hop. I could.
It's a really great hop. We've done a whole kind of line of beers actually experimenting with this hop. The Meridian Expedition we called it. But this is, I think, our 5th or 6th beer along those lines. We've actually also got a Cascadia Dark Lager that utilizes this hop exclusively as the flavor and aroma hop, and it's a really fun hop.
Is that the same as an IPA, but it's black?
Pretty much, but ours is a lager, so we have another
yours is a lager, that's right.
Yeah.
Cascadia Dark Lager. Okay, I missed that part.
It's a Pilsner, but it's an ale. It's weird.
It's so weird. I like this wit because I'm actually not a big fan of the coriander and the spices. So this is one that I would take with me. I go hiking all the time. Right, JP?
Yeah, I can tell.
I would definitely take this one with me. Yeah, the coriander's a little rough on my palate, so I like your decision here to get it out.
It is very good.
I also think this hop would just go great in a pretty standard pale ale.
It does, yeah, and there's been some breweries around that have up in Portland that have done that. And it's a really great hop, and it's in its second crop year this year, so we're looking forward to doing a lot more beers with this hop and using it in both blends with other hops to get kind of the characters that it has in a more complex format and continuing the Meridian Expedition like we've been doing.
Yeah.
Well, Paul, there's nothing about this in what you told us about this beer that would make it cloudy. How did you do this?
It's got I think about 30% unmalted wheat. About 5% unmalted oats and about 10% wheat malt.
Those are through the recipe, not the yeast.
Correct. Yeah,
didn't take it out.
Right.
Okay.
Nice.
Hey, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, I want to go back to the lab real quick, and I mostly want to give you kudos that I can taste it in the beer.
Thank you.
And did you guys go to the Craft Brewers Conference this year?
Unfortunately not. We're hoping to free up more time in the coming years, but we're still kind of under the throes of being the startup company, so we're pretty strapped for time. But yeah,
we'll be there next year.
Yeah, we will be there next year because it's in our home city of Portland, Oregon.
Well, I only bring it up because I think that Paul Gatza during the opening reception spent some time talking about all the new breweries that are opening up, right? And there's just there's a million of them. But he was kind of sticking it to brewers by saying, "Look, guys, you got to pay attention to quality control. You got to do the lab work. You got to figure out, the real science behind the beer because it's going to hurt the whole industry. It's happened before, and if a lot of breweries open up and they don't pay attention to the QC side of things, and you can taste it. I tasted some this weekend, and I like that you guys, even as a young company and on a small budget, are paying attention to the QC side, and I think that's the point that Gatza was making.
Yeah, I mean, for us, it's both a consistency issue and it's a fun issue. I mean, that's kind of the fun thing about beer for us.
Sure.
We want to know everything about our beer and really, really be adventurous about exploring, all facets of our beer, and so knowing the point at which it's at in day 2 of fermentation and the point at which it's at in month 6 in the bottle. We want to know everything we can about each of our beers, and that's what's fun to us.
I think if you didn't have the formal education, I think this is maybe the curve, is that a lot of brewers, and I don't think you always have to have formal education, but if you're starting up as a brewer and you haven't had that real science side of it, you're kind of slower to get there. You get the beer made, you start making good recipes, and then you figure out the other stuff later. But you have a very formal education, so you kind of went right to it.
Yeah, I mean, like all of us, the three of us current brewers, we're home brewers first, and then, had our educations, our formal educations from there. Justin, our owner, went to the Oregon State Brewers Science Program, fermentation science program, and so did Austin, our lab manager.
Got it.
So I'm a Siebel grad, and I'm also an Oregon grad, so we have
Huge
a
rivalry.
Oregon State stuff there. But they're both Oregon State guys. So we all have, our home brewing kind of passion and our formal background. So I think that's kind of what ties us all together, and both really kind of prioritizing brewing new styles and being adventurous in the artistic side of things, and really having fun in the lab.
Yeah, it shows. It's clean beer. Tastes really great.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm liking it. Tasty, did you have more questions on
the
beer?
I did have one more thing on lagering, and this is more of it, just for my personal information. What if, for instance, in the last say 10% of primary fermentation, you let the beer rise to a much more ale-like sort of temperature? Mm-hmm. Would that as well clean up the beer faster? And if in doing so, would it put off flavors that you say might affect the beer?
Again, that depends on the lager yeast. That you're describing a diacetyl rest kind of procedure. Which will certainly scrub out diacetyl, but depending on the yeast, it might give off more sulfur flavors. It might do some other funky things. Yeah. And it's really, yeast strain dependent, and depends on what you're trying to do in the final beer. And, those are the kind of things that you can't really answer. It only, that's what's fun about beer, is that you have to brew that and try those things and see how it comes out.
Exactly.
How quickly do you change the temperature from fermentation temp to lager?
We move it down pretty slowly over the course of about 3 days.
Okay. Where'd you guys get your brew house from? Did you get a brand new brew house from somewhere? Did you used? What'd you do?
Nicolay Brewing Company out of Florence, Wisconsin. We drove out there 3 years ago and
put it on top of the Westie.
There was 4 semis. We picked up an entire brew house.
I don't think the Westie would have survived that.
No, it was. I can barely make it to California.
Yeah. Wait, you guys drove out and picked it up? You didn't just hire a trucking company to do it?
Yeah. So Justin was looking around for breweries and found one on Pro Brewer.
Yeah.
And so went out and looked at it, and one spring break was like, all right, we're gonna drive out there. We took a truck and a trailer and got in there, set up a big elk tent right outside, and walked in, full functioning brewery, and said, all right, we got to cut this apart in 2 days. The semis are going to be here. So
wow.
At this point, I had no idea what we were really being brought in for. It was like, hey, you want to start a brewery? It's like, all right, yeah, let's do this. And then we show up in Wisconsin, and there's maybe 7,000 square foot building with full operation. We're like, all right, the trucks are coming in 2 days, so hurry up.
Yeah, so, hey, Rod, here's your torch. Go. Yeah. Amazing. What were they just putting in an upgraded brew house, or going out of business, or what?
They unfortunately went defunct.
Okay.
But the brew house came from New Glarus previous to that, and they were obviously upgrading. They did not, So
yeah.
They were. And they were a lager brewery out of northern Wisconsin.
Okay. Are you guys happy with the system? I've heard both sides of the story with used systems. Like, some people it fits perfect, and others it's the biggest piece of shit they ever got, and they didn't know it.
With us, it's been fantastic, honestly. And everything we got from them, from the 2 vessels in the brew house to the lagering tanks, really just kind of fit into our building so well. It really is magical, kind of the building we had with the idea of the brew house. So it allowed us to do a gravity-fed system. So we're purely gravity-fed from the mash tun to the kettle. We pump into the whirlpool. That's kind of a philosophical thing as well. We prefer to, move wort and then beer with, as little pump power as possible, both from a sustainability standpoint, but mostly from a quality standpoint. We don't want to beat up the beer and knock out too many proteins.
Okay.
And also, from a space use, it allows us to do the whole lagering cellar underneath our mezzanine. So we have a mezzanine kind of that splits up our lagering cellar, and upstairs our grain storage, as well as our malt room.
Got it.
And so it really allows us to kind of add about a third of the space to the brewery that we wouldn't otherwise have if our lagering tanks didn't fit underneath that mezzanine. So and they fit under the beam by about a half inch.
We measured the lagering vessels probably 40-50 times before we moved them under, taking bets on whether it actually fit or not. We were talking about if they did not fit, we were gonna have to tear apart the mezzanine and crane them under. And then when it came down to it, we had the floor drains, and those really saved us. We dropped the casters down. It was we're all pushing the 60-barrel lagering vessels under, and they were they missed by less than a quarter of an inch. It was incredible.
So both from a brewing standpoint and from the way it fits into our building, the system's been amazing, and it's been kind of part of the magical ride of what we've been undertaking the last few years.
Yeah. You guys don't have a lot of gray hair for what I'm hearing.
Well, I don't have much hair at all. So that's why I'm wearing a hat.
Because I'm trying to relate to this with this. We've made some of the same mistakes and had to measure a lot of things. And I'm telling you, I stress the fuck out about it. And I wake up the next day and there's 100 more gray hairs. But you guys look pretty healthy. You guys must have a better method of dealing with shit.
I think just like you guys, you swallow it and you wake up the next day and go tackle it and
go back to work.
Laugh it off and call it good.
Yeah.
Assume that you're going to get it done and have the drive. So that's kind of where we're at right now.
Well, the beer's great. You guys are doing a good job. The packaging is great, so I'm sure it looks awesome on the shelf. We've been talking about this. You have these 22-ounce aluminum bottles. Did you have to buy a special bottling system just to be able to package in these?
Yeah, we did. We to my knowledge, it may be the only one in the world. We got Dave Maheen out of Pasco, Washington. He built this, and oddly enough, he graduated college from our hometown in Klamath Falls, Oregon, out of the mechanical engineering program, and went into making bottling lines, and yeah, we got the custom built bottling line.
So it's not the standard old Maheen that everyone uses. All the startup breweries. He had to make it for these bottles.
That's right. The parameters are slightly different, both on height and width. Yeah, so it's a 6-head filler, operates more or less the same, but fits our bottle size. Yeah.
And other than how awesome they look, were there other factors in deciding to use this package?
Absolutely. Sorry. Go ahead, Russ.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, first and foremost, it's the best thing possible for the beer. There's no light infiltration. We can counter pressure fill it much like a bottle. And then it really fits into like our company dynamic in as way as you can throw it in your pack and not worry about it breaking, because there's nothing worse than like 7 miles into a hike and you throw your pack down and you're tired and you like shatter your beer that you've been saving for the summit. So
I hate that shit so much, dude.
Oh, and it always happens at 7 miles.
No, I mean hiking. I hate that shit.
Yeah. Well, we like to do a lot of outdoorsy things. So whether it's toss them in the pack in our golf bag, to go hit the links, or go to the mountain to. Some of them are more exerting than others, but we just like being kind of outdoors and want to enjoy our beers outdoors.
What about the dangers and pitfalls of walking to your fridge and back to the couch?
Yeah.
Like this would totally solve that issue.
I tripped last night.
You could totally stumble over your left foot and it would be safe.
And it would totally
Dude, I can't tell you how many cans I've dented. This wouldn't dent at all. This is amazing.
They're such awesome bottles. I've never seen another brewery using them. I've seen the little ones.
You can we've tested them. You can throw them against a concrete wall. I wouldn't recommend it for just anybody, but you can throw them against a concrete wall.
Throw one at Beardy and see what happens.
Yeah, his head is pretty thick.
Disappear into the beard.
God.
I kind of want to go throw these outside now.
Yeah.
Start winging them at Martians.
At the homeless Martian guys?
Sam's downstairs. Maybe I can throw it at Sam.
They have recycling value because of the aluminum, so I don't think the Martians would mind.
The really great thing about them, too, is the after beer uses for them. Like, you can homebrew it into them. We've also seen some bike fenders been made out of them.
Really?
Backpacking stoves.
You are in Portland.
Yeah, totally.
I'm going to make this into a
bong.
Yeah.
Totally make a great bong.
I'm actually going to take this. I'm going to deconstruct this and make it into a chain for my bike.
Unfortunately, no one sent us a bong just yet, but
it's got
soon.
Tasty. I'll have it in 2 hours.
Got an ice pick?
Old school. All right, guys.
Yeah, who has an ice pick?
Well, we got more to do, and we have more of your beer to drink, so I hope you want to stick around, but we got to do some beer news and some other things. I want to thank you for making the trek down here. You got another event coming up, tomorrow?
Yeah, we're down at Stein's Beer Garden in Mountain View tomorrow night at 5 o'clock.
Okay.
Oh, we got a lot of people actually down at Mountain View.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so do that. And any other events for the week?
June, we'll be up in Vancouver for Craft Beer Fest at the Portland...
Come on.
Portland Craft Beer there, and then doing the big Vancouver...
Wait, you're talking OBF in Portland? Like the big one? No,
up in Vancouver.
Vancouver Beer Week up there.
Yeah.
Got it. I went to Vancouver once in the Westie. Made it there and back.
Wow.
Yeah.
All the way?
You know what I did? Oh, what an idiot. So we did a show from there at Steamworks, I think it was. JP, you hosted it back here.
Oh, I did? Oh,
Yeah.
I forget. It must have been really good, though.
I think it's called Steamworks. And we got really drunk with the brewers and the staff and had a really good night. And I think we woke up still a little drunk. And I get in the Westie and brush my teeth and go driving down the road. And I drive about 10 blocks, and we're just about to get on the freeway. And there's a construction crew working on the side of the road, and they just look at me, and they shake their head, and they go, dude, your top's up. And I drove 8 blocks with the top up. I was about to get on the freeway, which would have been disastrous.
Yeah. All right. I've done that before.
Oh, thank God! Nobody else has ever admitted.
I was in Bend one time, and I was recovering from a night, and I went on the highway, actually. Like, I cruised through the woods, and I was good to go, and I was going downhill. The only time I can ever get above 55. I was going downhill in third gear, pedal to the metal, and I'm just like, why is this thing not going any faster?
No.
And then just about that time, I look up, and I'm like, oh, you stupid.
Yeah. I definitely have never felt so stupid. And I've done a lot of stupid things, but that one I just thought...
Well, you know, the morning after drink, it's tough. You know, we all know it's a tough time.
How did I get through the whole city, though, with nobody, like, either pointing or laughing or honking? They all just were like...
People sleeping up there. What do you mean?
Guy.
I thought Canadians were supposed to be polite.
Yeah.
Sound like a bunch of dicks to me.
It was just this construction guy, and he just had a look on his face like, you're an idiot.
Well, the great thing is they always
up,
blame it on the stoners. Like, you know, it's never the booze. It's like, oh, those fucking stoners.
Yeah, and they definitely, that's pretty much what they thought about
Stoners do get a lot of flack for stupid decisions.
Yeah. All right, any other events we need to make sure people know about before we take a break here? We got things covered. If we missed anything, you can definitely go to basecampbrewingco.com, basecampbrewingco.com. You can see the beer list on there. You can find out where to find them in Portland. Go check it out. Nice website, too. You guys are good at marketing.
How about, can we plug our app right now?
Hell no.
Yeah.
Oh. So this is kind of a new thing for us, but we got an app rolling. It's myapp.is/basecamp.
Okay.
It's kind of like our new. We're working it out, and it's our new direction to pass on information as seamlessly as we possibly can to the end consumer. And
cool.
So, what kind of information is on there? Like beer releases and where to find it,
how to break your Westie.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. All of our.
Put your top down, idiot.
Over and over again.
So we got all of our new beers on there. You can look at them. You can see like all their vital stats. You can see like a little write up about them. And then we're working towards events and all that other stuff.
That is cool, because otherwise, if you're sitting around drinking and you want details on a beer, you usually have to scroll up like rate beer or whatever. But if you have your own, so it's a lot faster.
Is that not on the website, too?
It is now. They're just in the very, very beginning stages of kind of like making this happen. And we're like really working on our tap handles, as well as we have these beer cards that we provide with all like the rotational tap series that's going on in the market today. So we have one tap handle with a little alligator clip on the top and with a beer card, so it has the malt bill, the hop bill, all the vital stats, and a little write-up about it. So like when someone says like, "Hey, what's that beer from Basecamp?" You know, like they can just look at it real quick. Or
that's
give it
cool.
To you and,
that's really cool.
Yeah, and on a very analog standpoint too, we're at 930 Southeast Oak, and I'll be there. So if anybody wants to come and like meet me and hear the face to face,
I'd rather get the information from a Retina display phone.
Yeah. Even in your taste room, I would look at you and still just go to the app. I'm the same guy who goes to all the self checkout at the grocery store.
Absolutely.
And, if I don't have to talk to you,
I would actually prefer that. Honestly, I'm just saying that I'll be there if somebody wants to look at me.
It is your job, and you will be there.
Can you just text me the information, please?
Yeah. All right, guys. This IPL, is that what it's called?
IPL Lager, yeah.
Dude, for me, I wanted you to try it because it has like a pine needle, not like a traditional kind of piney thing that I usually get in a lot of IPAs, or I mean, it's what they're kind of known for. But this like a fresh pine needle kind of thing.
Yeah,
it's really great.
Yeah, it's a little perfumey in the aroma, not perfumey in the taste, which is good because that would be kind of hit you in the throat. But yeah.
Yeah, we're going for kind of a floral and piney character with the hops, and then we also have we do some oak aging in this beer, which we also do in our Northwest Fest. That is all proprietary and in house. We have a modified oak chipper and drum roaster.
Wow.
That allows us to we actually get a blend of red and white oak from a local millwork, chip it on site, roast it on site, and then get that on the beer within a matter of about an hour from roasting. So it allows us to really kind of maximize all of those great flavors that come from roasting oak, and get them on the beer immediately without any kind of volatilization in the air.
Now, is this something that you thought about during those 200 days where you guys were sitting around doing nothing? It sounds like it.
Yeah.
I've never heard of roasting oak.
I've never heard of this.
We're kind of all project guys.
Yeah.
These guys actually have taught me a lot about just kind of building something in your mind and then building it in front of you. But it's been kind of a cool journey with a lot of the things that we do. Very much kind of a DIY brewery and you can see that if you visit our tap room, as well as things like our oak roaster and wood chippers. We like to kind of envision a new way of doing things and then try to build it.
A brewery's not dangerous enough. Let's put a wood chipper
and run some propane lines.
Right,
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It probably took us 265 days to build the oak roaster.
Wow.
Welding and
that was
a good project.
But you did it.
Right. Yeah.
See,
it clearly works.
You guys, aspiring brewers out there, I'd say welder first. Like if you want start a brewery, start welding. That's like the first and foremost law.
Yeah,
that we've got.
That's good advice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
See, you guys wouldn't be the same brewery you are today if you didn't have the 230 days. Because
no.
Like Scott and I, we're just sitting around watching porn while we wait. But you guys, you
I mean, we might have done a little bit of that individually.
Right, yeah.
We welded to Log Jammin' 4, and it's just the best soundtrack ever.
Best welds we ever did. Just so clean.
Yeah, very smooth.
You should have seen the beads I was laying down.
Well, this guy was laying down some other beads.
Dime stacks all day.
Oh, man. But you guys really did spend your time wisely on R&D for the beer and
so yeah, it's been Justin again. He's a really DIY guy, and it's become quickly company culture to just you have an idea, you bring it to the table, and then everybody looks at you and like, all right, you're gonna make it happen, right?
Yeah,
and you have to do it, and it's been a great learning curve for all of us. It's it's all about the beer. But then there's so many other things that we've learned how to do throughout this entire process. It's been really, really fun.
It's really cool, really magical.
You guys are going to end up smart after this whole thing.
Yeah, one day.
They say that drinking does bad things to your brain, but I'd say it's
I disagree.
Yeah.
All right, BasecampBrewingCo.com. Go check them out. We're going to take a break. The guys are going to hang out in the studio, I think. We got more beer to drink. Yeah. We'll do some beer news when we get back. We got Find the Fake to play tonight, too. 888-401-BEER if you've got questions. Or join Bevo in the chat room by hitting the chat button on thebrewingnetwork.com. It's The Session. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Brewcasters on the Brewing Network.
All right, BN Army, it's trivia time. What's the only homebrew shop with over 1,000 recipe kits, $4.99 shipping on orders over $100, and is also home of the Wolf Shirt? The one and only answer is Austin Homebrew Supply. For over 20 years, they've specialized in creating recipes such as the best-selling Texas Blonde Ale, Apocalypso, Hop Bomb 2.0, and Double Chocolate Stout. And they just recently unveiled their small grain kits that produce 1 gallon of beer. Visit AustinHomebrew.com to browse their extensive catalog of equipment and ingredients. They also have mini clone recipes of your favorite commercial beers. They're the exclusive retailer of BrewVent yeast fuel as well, yeast nutrient, and the all-new Bodybuilder. Follow Austin Homebrew Supply on Google Plus to participate in video hangouts on popular brewing topics. So visit AustinHomebrew.com today and make sure you sign up for their weekly email with news and specials. Austin Homebrew Supply, AustinHomebrew.com.
As a brewer, you already don't settle for second best. You want great tasting beer and you want great equipment to make it with. So don't settle for the second best grain mill. You want a Monster Mill from Monster Brewing Hardware. Monster Mills are tough, come in 2 and 3 roller designs, and are made right here in the USA from superior materials for longer lasting performance. Pick the mill that's right for you at monsterbrewinghardware.com and take Bevo's advice.
Trust me, it's always better to have a bigger tool than you think you need.
Monster Mills have the best warranty in the business. Your satisfaction is guaranteed. Visit monsterbrewinghardware.com now and check out all the mills and mill accessories. Don't settle for second best. Get a Monster Mill from Monster Brewing Hardware.
Do you know the 3 most important rules in brewing? Sanitation, sanitation, and sanitation. And no one does it better than 5-Star Chemicals. 5-Star knows sanitation. You can only sanitize clean equipment. And 5-Star knows how to clean, too. For craft brewers and home brewers, 5-Star has what you need to keep your fermenters, serving tanks, kegs, and draft lines sparkling and free of any beer-spoiling bacteria. PBW, caustic, acid cleaners, Star San, SaniClean, lubricants and defoamers, pH stabilizers, and more. 5-Star Chemicals has cleaning supplies, safety supplies, heat exchangers, pumps, hoses, and valves. And 5-Star is proud to offer eco-friendly products that exceed customer expectations. If you have a cleaning problem, you need the 5-Star solution. Visit 5starchemicals.com or call 800-782-7019. 800-782-7019 and get the 5-Star treatment today.
Tonight is the night.
We bring the creature to life, Dr. Blickmanstein?
Yes, J.P. Gore. Everything is perfect for my next fermented creation.
My doctor, the storm is too far away. We'll never have enough power to isomerize the creature's alpha acid.
Yes, J.P. Gore, we will. For I have in my possession the Tower of Power.
Blickman's new Tower of Power is the evolution of automation. Control hot liquor, sparge, and mash temps like a pro. The Tower of Power is a high-quality gas-fired rim system that works with your current brewing setup. With ultra-precision, the tower can hold your mash to 1/2 of a degree Fahrenheit. Precision and repeatability. The Tower of Power is the answer to automatic, fast ramp times. See more at BlickmanEngineering.com. Bring your next creation to life with the Tower of Power.
Dr. Blickmanstein, with the Tower of Power, you can probably give me an afternoon at the pub to enjoy a pint.
Don't be silly, J.P. Gore. We have beer to brew.
Adventures in Homebrewing has the knowledge and expertise to craft their own gear and original recipes. Some of the things homebrewing.org creates and manufactures in-house are the Brutus brew stands and propane burners, the Serial Killer adjustable 2-roller grain mill with 7-pound hopper, custom stainless steel false bottoms designed to fit kegels, coolers, and mini-sized brew pots. Visit Adventures in Homebrewing at the National Homebrewers Conference this June in their home state of Michigan to see more homebrewing.org creations. The brewers at Adventures in Homebrewing have designed a huge selection of original recipes for extract and all-grain brewing. Adventures in Homebrewing original recipes are tried and tested, proven to be of the best quality. And right now, Adventures in Homebrewing is shipping 24 of their best recipes for free. Visit homebrewing.org for the most current selection. Once you try one of Adventures in Homebrewing recipes, you'll keep coming back for more. And now, it's even easier with free shipping on these kits. And don't forget to use the current coupon code AIH10. Adventures in Homebrewing at homebrewing.org.
Mix me your 100-grain amber recipe, and I'm going to eat it. And then it can ferment in my gut. It totally works. The beer is almost identical to the grain sandwich.
Your colon won't know what hit it.
The home of live beer radio.
TheBrewingNetwork.com.
Because like beer,
Radio shouldn't suck. You're listening to The
Session.
Fix that door.
You better get out of my general store.
You sold me one, you can sell me one more.
I ain't gonna sell you no beer no more.
Why? Too drunk to think about it, might as well try. 100 pretty ladies and they're giving me the eye.
Well, I told you once, I told you twice. Drinking and driving is a bad man's vice.
Left, left, right. And a right, right, left.
You can go out for a while, but don't be late.
We're going driving on the interstate.
You can take my car, so just close the gate.
Right. Too drunk to think about it, might as well try. There's a million pretty ladies and they're giving me the eye.
Boys be boys, men will be men. Know what you did, you don't do it again.
it again. Gonna do it again.
Oh, I feel a little bit hot tonight. I can barely see the street from all the heat rising up. Hey there, officer, what do you know?
You're on the interstate and you're going slow.
I missed my turn. Which way do I go?
Get out of the car. You're going to jail.
No.
Walk the line, heel to toe, tilt your head back and touch your nose.
What?
Walk the line, heel to toe,
Don't do
tilt your
this.
head back and touch your nose.
What?
Walk the line, heel to toe, tilt your head back and touch your nose. Recite backwards the alphabet.
Up yours, pig. You do that shit.
Walk a line, heel to toe, tilt my head back and I touch my nose. Walk a line, heel to toe, better get far and go, dude, go. Walking line, heel to toe, tilt my head back and I touch my nose. Walking line, heel to toe, tilt my head back and I touch my nose.
Your hand on your hips, follow the pen.
I can't hear you, man. Say it again.
Put your hand on your hips and follow the pen.
I fucked your sister in the back of my
Put
van.
your hand on your hips and follow the light.
Sir, just want to go home tonight.
I told you twice, drinking and driving is a bad man's vice. Told you once, told you twice, drinking and driving is a bad man's vice. Told you once, told you twice, drinking and driving is a bad man's vice.
Beer.
This is The Session.
That's right. Welcome back to the program, and thanks for hanging out. I want to tell you about the Siebel Institute of Brewing Technology. Siebel, they've been a sponsor of the show before. I believe they taught our brewmaster in here today how to brew. And if the beer has anything to say about the quality of Siebel, I highly recommend this place. America's oldest brewing school, more courses than any other brewing school, including advanced home brewing, which some of our friends teach. Chris Graham from More Beer and Chris White from White Labs goes out and does that. I believe that Ray Daniels from the Cicerone program is involved. Just a really all-star cast of instructors for the advanced home brewing. You can sign up for that. Craft distilling, beer styles courses for those looking to ace, beer knowledge exams and things like that. Professional level brewing courses available on both campus-based and web-based, so you can learn at home. Which I think that's how JP went to college, right?
I did. I learned at home.
Learned at home. Everything.
He went to college by not going to college.
Right. And then somehow I knew things.
And as I mentioned, the faculty just includes some of the best known and most respected instructors in international brewing. Siebel Institute of Technology. You can go check them out at SiebelInstitute.com and learn all about their classes over there. SiebelInstitute.com. Thanks for supporting the show over there. They're also fun people. Keith?
Yeah. Oh, he's great. Big nose?
Keith is a good dude.
He's awesome.
I like hanging out with him at NHC. I saw him at CBC too, and he's fun. You can't have a serious conversation with Keith, unless of course it's about brewing school. But I don't care. Yeah. So when I go see Keith,
it's about you enrolling in his school.
Yeah.
Then he gives a shit.
But with me, it's all dick jokes and beer.
Zero fucks.
Yeah.
Who's taller, Keith or Paxton?
Oh,
Ooh.
Good question.
Yeah.
Might be even.
It's hard. Paxton looks bigger because he's larger.
Right.
You know what
Not wider.
Larger. Yeah. Anyway, go to SiebelInstitute.com.
No, answer my question.
I don't know. I don't remember. I do not know. What are we going to do? Beer news?
Yeah.
All right, let me talk about the beer that's in my glass first, because it's another good beer from Basecamp. What is it?
One.
What's this one called in the blue bottle there?
That's the Northwest Fest.
Okay. And it's what? Like a Vienna lager?
Vienna Märzen style amber lager. Yes.
Oh, would you mind?
Yeah, that's right.
You
as soon as they said that, we all were like, "Oh,
Yeah.
give me! I'd like that, please."
Yeah.
Yeah. That's another good beer, and we've got more to try from you today too, right?
Some more.
Yeah. We got some more beer.
I'm glad we got a ride home today. It's excellent. All right, let's do the beer news real quick, shall we?
Sure.
And now it's beer news brought to you by Craft Beer and Brewing Magazine.
Well, it's finally happened. It's perfect for the guests in the studio, and perfect for our industry, which is a large American city can say that more dollars are being spent on craft beer than on big beer.
Really?
Yes, according to figures that have just been released by industry publication Craft Brew News, Portland has officially become the first city where micro has eclipsed macro.
All right. This is good news.
They're officially going to be bored with it now.
Yeah.
Back to the Yellowstone.
Right, yeah.
It has become way too cool for Portland.
Oh, the big,
what's
big
it look
craft
like?
up in Portland.
So what's it look like at the grocery store? I mean, is a set like mostly craft, or is it still mostly macro, except all the beer flows through the craft?
The shelf all has hop puns everywhere.
It's really a wonderful thing because, like, as we move through, like, it's set up, 20% to craft, and then every day it seems like it's moving more and more and more. And then, like, you go into any store now, and you see like a sliver of craft, like one facing, and then like 500.
A sliver of macro.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And so it's really a beautiful thing. I mean, you walk in anywhere, and it's you can get your choice of beer, whatever you want. It's awesome.
Wonderful.
I think that for some time now, Firestone has actually been outselling like Coors and Bud Light in Paso Robles in their region too. So this might not be the first. This might be the first major city.
I think for a very long time
to do it. But I was always impressed by that Firestone was able to do that as a really small brewery. One brewery,
right? One brewery's doing it,
outselling the macros there.
I wonder if Craftness got in your news article. Does it say specifically what kinds? Because I still bet PBR outpaces all micro brews in Portland.
It didn't. No, it didn't go by brand.
It's probably the lump.
That's too bad.
It's the category. Is outselling the whole.
No, PBR is in its category of its own.
In its own category.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. They're outselling Arrowhead. Right. That's what's happening there.
The data was collected by Chicago-based Information Resources Incorporated, and they report a 16% increase in craft beer dollar sales for Portland in the first quarter 2014. It pushes its total market share to 45.8%. AB InBev and Miller Coors combined at 40.6.
Wow.
So it's actually not even close.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice. Well done, Portland. You've done it again. First mustaches
what's
and
the
now
rest of the
craft beer.
Where's the other percent?
What is the leftover?
It's it doesn't know. I always like that about polls. There's always like 4% don't know. For Oregon craft brands, I mean, we're talking majorly massive sales expansions, much to the delight of our guests, I'm sure. 10 Barrel Brewing, for one example, they're in Bend. They saw a 131% sales increase. You guys know Laurelwood? They're in Portland with you.
Oh yeah, that's great.
They had a 133% increase, and you guys were at what? Infinity? What's your number?
I think. Where were we?
Well, I mean, it's our first year, so
Infinity.
Infinity.
Really
Just
good.
say yes.
Yes.
Agree with me.
By the way, how many barrels will you
The
produce?
Sideways 8.
How many barrels do you think you'll make in a year this year?
Here comes Paul.
We'll probably double. We did just under 2,000 last year, and we'll probably do about 35 to 4,000
cool.
this year.
Great. Good for you.
Amazingly, too, these numbers only represent retail sales. And, it's likely the inclusion of draft sales at bars and restaurants, it would push probably Craft's advantage even further.
Oh, totally.
Or it would slide back to PBR's favor. Yeah.
Could happen.
I got a story about PBR later, JP. You'll like it.
Nice.
So what city do we think is going to be the next big city to achieve this milestone?
Burbank.
Martinez.
Shit. Yeah. Per capita.
Martinez will be the last city on Earth to make this switch.
I'm sure San Diego is like,
San Diego?
the
What is the
wagons.
definition of a
What's
major city? Is there like any definition there?
Let's say it's got to be more than 100,000 people. I would say.
Yeah, I don't know.
75,000.
It has to have at least 4 homeless guys.
I think we might be talking about Burlington, Vermont.
There you
my
go.
guess.
That's a good guess.
Yeah, that is a good guess.
Is that
San
a big-
Diego's not a bad guess, but that's going to take a little while still, I think.
Yeah. You think so?
Yeah.
A lot of Coors Light still being drank.
A lot of Corona being
Corona.
I wonder if it's because of the beach.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Weather, I think.
Well, if they had these nice aluminum cans in craft beer, then the beach might not matter.
Right.
So you can take these also.
What about Seattle?
Oh, Seattle could do it.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No one's drinking Corona on any beach in Seattle.
No, that's true.
Too far from that beach.
I want to go sit on a rock beach.
That's a good call,
No, they're-
actually. Seattle, that's a very good guess.
They're drinking Rainier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, look at Beeves tied into the whole hipster scene.
Wow, yeah. All right, what else?
All right. You guys remember that terrible bill in Florida I reported on a couple weeks ago? SB 1714. It was the, just to refresh your memory, Kelly Stargell was the representative that brought it. She wanted distributors to buy craft breweries' beer, mark it up, and sell it back to that brewery without the beer ever leaving the brewery.
Hey, I got an idea.
That was the one, yeah.
What is it?
Well, I'll buy something from you. You never give it to me. I'll sell it back to you. What do you think?
Where do I sign on the thing to make the thing happen, and we can all do it?
Sign right here. It's a handshake.
Thank you. Why did you lick my hand after I spit into it?
Yeah, that bill?
Yeah, that's that one. Yeah, well, good news. Good news. I'm sure because of us yelling about it on this show.
Yeah.
The bill did not pass. It passed the Senate 30-10, but it failed in the House.
All right.
Boo. You're taking tax dollars away from a state who desperately needs the money.
Now the kids aren't going to get to go to kindergarten in Florida.
Right.
That's okay. I got another idea. Check it out. For every 5 beers you sell, you give me money for 4 of them. That's the deal.
What would you do with the money?
Doesn't matter.
But I would like to know.
America.
Yeah. America. That's all you need to know is America.
I will sign on this bill.
Yeah. Thank you.
We got tax.
Thank you for your support.
Thank you.
Well,
kiss me.
What I worry about, though, is stuff like this happening more in the future and in other states, because it did get enough support to pass a couple, pass something, the committee, whatever, and then it passed the Senate, and it died in the House. But, I mean, that's a more momentum than I would like to see for something with as bad a premise as this bill has. Yeah.
Keep in mind, it is Florida, and they do a lot of dumb shit down there.
Now, wait, though. Are they allowed to sell growlers now, or did the whole thing fail?
Right. Failed.
So it all got so it's not that big of a victory because the whole point was to be able to sell growlers.
That was something that got tacked on to the bill, sort of as a last ditch move by Senator Kelly, because she was getting a tremendous amount of flack for it, and Florida craft brewers were up in arms, and so she, to kind of quell their worries, tacked that into the bill, like, oh, okay, but we'll allow you to sell growlers now, which, like, yeah, they've been fighting for that, right? But the entire thing failed. It's a net gain, believe me.
Except that, if I remember the story right, the point was that craft brewers are trying to be able to sell growlers from their tasting room.
Yes,
so this bill came out to do it, and then they tacked on that they had to sell it to distributors and back.
I believe it was a separate bill. I believe the growler bill was actually a separate bill altogether. It had a different, SKU number. It wasn't 1714.
So still no growlers in Florida.
That is right.
Fail. Okay.
Yeah, that part of it failed. And so what I think they're going to do is introduce the growler bill separate again, like they had done before, just try and get the growler thing through.
Right.
But the senator who passed it, or who introduced it, she wrote an op-ed in the what is this? The Tampa Bay, some local
the Tampa Bay
there.
Wiper, I think is what it's called.
I'm sure it was a piece of literary genius.
The Tallahassee Democrat, that's what it's called.
Yeah,
same thing.
Anyway, people are trying to figure out if it was like the S.A.B. Miller distributors had a publicist write it for her, or if this was actually her thoughts. I actually think it came from her. And what I had planned on doing was going through this thing and just sort of dismantling it sentence by sentence.
Can you just give us the finer points of the stupid thing she had to say? Did you highlight some sentences?
Yeah, I did. All right. So she addressed the 3-tier system. I go, well, why is the 3-tier system necessary in the 21st century, she said. She said, is the backbone of societal protections against rampant alcoholism as you saw in the 1920s.
I just threw up in my mouth.
Well, can someone explain to me, what does that have? What does the 3-tier system have to do with rampant alcoholism? Like, can't anyone who is of age buy as much alcohol as they want at any liquor store?
It's not even a factual basis for why the 3-tier system started directly after Prohibition. It's a ridiculous statement. I mean, not only because it doesn't make sense, but also because there's another reason that the 3-tier system was put into place.
Right. She's clearly going after the Bible thumpers who are probably rampant in that state in the first place. And so, it means nothing. She's writing to people who already take a stand against this and who already think
what else?
beer is evil.
She's running as a temperance candidate.
I want to hear.
But it's weird because those same Bible thumpers theoretically don't want to see government hamper economic prosperity by stepping all over small businesses, right? That's
Unless
all
Satan
part of the
is
same.
Involved. That's you're forgetting the S factor, which is Satan.
I was wondering what the S referred to. Okay, here's another point. She said, when beer was deregulated in the 1970s, we again experienced the effects of undercutting the 3-tier system. It has been pointed out in news reports that states where beer is unregulated, where it is unregulated, the per capita production is significantly higher. Higher beer production and higher consumption go hand in hand. So, there's no such thing as a state where beer is unregulated. What is she talking about?
Also, isn't it sort of a redundant thing to say that where more beer is produced, why would you produce more beer if it wasn't being sold? I mean, of course there's a correlation between more beer being produced and more beer being sold.
Well, amazingly,
it's a problem.
That turns out not to be true.
Oh.
It's not true.
Well, that's amazing.
You were on a great path.
So first of all, beer is highly regulated in every state. There are degrees, but every single state, even where the rules are lax, like in your guys' Oregon Base Camp Brewing Company, it is still highly regulated, as I'm sure you can attest. You have to everything, your labels and your production, you have to keep tabs on every single thing you do, right?
Everything.
Can you cut a fart without the government saying something?
No, and they can't sell a growler unless they have a mustache. That's in the law. That was in their growler bill. So
the only caveat is if you have a fixed gear, then it's fine.
That's part C1.
Right. Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah. So Paul actually brews on a fixed gear.
Perfect.
Love it.
So counterintuitively and weirdly, higher alcohol production and higher consumption do not go hand in hand. So California, for example, we're the highest producing state by beer shipments, but we rank 44th in per capita consumption. Then on the other hand, North Dakota ranks 44th in shipments, and they have the highest per capita. And then Florida, where this bill is, ranks 3rd in shipments and 34th in per capita consumption. So both things she said are just factually wrong.
I also gleaned from that California is full of quitters. We're not drinking enough, apparently.
Well, we're making enough, that's for sure.
Well, we're making the nation's beer.
Yeah.
Is what's happening.
That's all we need to do.
Right.
America.
Yeah.
Anyway, can't the 3-tier system...
California.
Wouldn't the 3-tier system be there whether you enforced it or not? Because wouldn't breweries need, at least a certain segment of them, need a fleet of trucks and a franchise of liquor stores, and they lack the infrastructure to distribute to maybe as wide of a whatever as a distribution company could? So wouldn't the market...
Possibly, but it wouldn't be required, I think, is the deal. And there wouldn't have to maybe be the extreme markups that end up happening. By the way, I had long discussions about this with brewers and distributors over the weekend. And, a retailer, which is what we're about to become, we're now paying some enormous amounts of money for specialty kegs and some not even specialty kegs. And the retailers are the only ones who are expected to reduce their margin when we pay more for kegs. And the reason is because how am I going to sell you a $15 pint?
You're not.
But the brewery doesn't reduce their margin. Right? They sell that keg at the same margin as every other keg to the distributor. And then the distributor definitely doesn't reduce their margin. They stay at whatever they're supposed to be at, 30% or something. The only people expected in the whole 3 tiers to reduce their margin are you and me, the retailers, which ultimately hurts the consumer as well.
Well, there is a problem at the brewery level, too. As a brewery grows, the economies of scale change. And so they have the option to lower their price per keg. But the distributor can say, thank you very much. We'll still charge the same price for your keg to the retail establishment.
Yes,
so
I agree.
You can sell us whatever you want. You can lower it. That's fine.
The only way to make money is being a distributor.
Right. The way to make the most money is for the brewery to control it all the way to the retailer's door. So they have an interest in getting rid of the 3-tier system for that reason.
And again, yes, you would still need some infrastructure. I think we would still want distributors. Obviously, we still want retailers, but because it wouldn't be required, because you're not like this is what you get or you're screwed as a brewer and as a retailer, I think it would be a very different system. So.
Yeah, a different model for the distributor where they're more like a shipping company sort of thing.
Yeah.
They do it for fee, for hire.
Right.
They're not necessarily a markup company. They're a delivery company.
Yeah, we're in the wrong business. We should be distributor hookers and blow every night on the distributor side.
Blow, any narcotic. You want to be a middleman.
Is it just whatever you're not doing? Because, don't be a brewery. No, go sell the beer. Yeah, just be a bartender, sell the beer. Now we're selling the beer. Oh, no, you got to be a distributor.
Gotta be a distributor.
That's where the money
They're the
is.
ones. And then when I become a distributor, it'll be something else.
Get out of the beer business.
Yeah.
What are you doing in the beer business?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Well, so I did try to invite Representative Stargill on the show. I sent her a very polite message, and I really wanted to hear her arguments for why she is standing behind this bill. And this op-ed is theoretically her arguments for it, and they're very poor. And so the whole thing is so sick.
That's too bad she wouldn't come on the show.
Yeah.
Surprise,
imagine
too.
that.
Yeah.
Jesus. All right, one more for a little temperance there. Even though I guess it's a good story. The bill didn't pass, so good times. Pabst Brewing Company is for sale, JP.
Nice.
You got a couple nickels to rub together. You can talk to majority investor C. Dean Metropolis, who also owns the Twinkie brand, by the way.
Greek. Nice. I'm already in.
He's the guy who killed Twinkies?
No, he bought it when Hostess went belly up.
Because Greeks really like their sweets, man.
Yeah.
You can't get a domada with a cream filling, you know what I mean?
A what?
Never worry about it.
Mr. Metropolis is seeking a new owner. The company, which is one of the oldest breweries in the U.S., of course, is expected to sell somewhere between, anyone want to guess?
Well, I just read your screen, so I'm out.
$6 trillion.
$800 million.
That's close. It's between 500 and $1 billion.
Yeah.
500 million and $1 billion, they're saying, which is a really kind of a wide margin, isn't it?
It is. Well, it just depends on how many people in Portland are buying Pabst that week when the company sells.
Yeah.
And JP. How many people in Portland and JP are buying Pabst?
It does come in Portland. It comes with a free tube of mustache wax. So
that's rad.
And chain lube.
And chain lube. I was trying to figure out what that was called. Yeah.
Right.
In my brain, my little brain.
You get the chain tensioner and mustache comb if you buy the 24-pack.
Yeah, it's like a skate key, right? Where you had all the tools on your own. Okay.
Yeah, not only do you get all that plus a zippered hoodie, you also get Schlitz and Old Milwaukee.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's the same company?
Yeah.
Which continually win awards every year at GABF and all that kind of stuff. So it's an award-winning brewery. Don't ever discount that.
And did you say it's L.A.-based?
Yeah, it's in Los Angeles.
I didn't know that. I thought they were, I thought they were Oregon-based, actually. I didn't know they were L.A.-based. Interesting.
They want you to think they're Oregon-based.
Yeah.
PBR?
Nothing cool about L.A.
It says it's L.A.-based. The Internet said it, Warren.
The Internet said it.
Got to be true.
There's one person down here somewhere.
Maybe the company
It's a P.O. box in Los Angeles. Is where, yeah, that's where they're located.
Well, they're also considering, as an alternative, an initial public offering. Would you guys buy stock if they went public?
Oh, yeah.
Depends on the price of stock, but it wouldn't be a bad
I totally
purchase.
would do that.
I don't think it'd be a terrible purchase.
Absolutely.
That's a good way to go.
Yeah.
Well, there you go, guys. That is the news brought to you by Craft Beer and Brewing Magazine. They are the new go-to source for homebrewing enthusiasts and those who are passionate about craft beer, which is all of you. Each issue will contain recipes, inspirations, techniques for homebrewing, and all that good stuff. It's porn for your beerness.
Yeah.
Yeah, Craft Beer and Brewing Magazine.
It's a good-looking magazine, too.
Yeah. It's like over 120 pages of color.
Is it really?
You have gorgeous colorness.
A lot of pictures I don't have to read.
Yeah.
It's cool.
It'd be great for you.
Yeah. All right. Also, if you're looking for a place to build your beer recipes, Beersmith homebrewing software, you can go to beersmith.com right now and check it out. Design great beer. You don't have to calculate by hand. You can design it all there. Plus, there's a plethora of recipes over on Beersmith. There's the Beersmith podcast. You can get the app for both Android and iPhone and iPad, so you can do your Beersmith on the go. Brew with confidence. Go to beersmith.com and check it out. And plus, it's a free 21-day trial, so just use it for free, and then when you love it is when you buy it. And I guarantee you're going to love it. But if you don't, no purchase necessary. Free 21-day trial. Beersmith.com. Go. All right. I think we have to take another break.
We do?
Did we just start drinking stout, too, from Base Camp?
Yeah, I think you're drinking it now.
Get yourself some more of it.
There's already another stout going around.
What an asshole. Is that what it's called? S'more stout? Yeah.
It's still an asshole, though.
Yeah.
Still an asshole.
Yeah, still.
The second one going around actually is a Baltic Porter.
Oh,
Baltic Porter, sorry.
That's not the s'more.
That is not.
That's
s'more.
Something else. Okay.
No s'more.
I might have to get that at the break. All right. Here's what we're going to do. Oh, I had a question for Base Camp. Come through the chat real quick, guys. Slow Fat Matt wants to know, are there any off flavors from the aluminum bottles or additional requirements from having the beer on metal?
That's two
you guys had to go through. Paul?
Well, I mean, no, it's just like any kind of canned beer. It's a food grade lined aluminum can, so no, you don't have to worry about anything coming off the aluminum itself because it's a BPA free food grade liner.
Okay, so even with a long shelf life, if I wanted to store the Baltic Porter, for example, no problem.
I've got a few in my cellar right now, and I'm planning on keeping them for a couple of years.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, I have a cellar. Whatever, dude.
I mean, my garage.
Yeah, I have a fridge in my garage.
Yeah. I mean, back in my van I've got, so.
I mean, the IKEA bookshelf in my bathroom.
Yeah, we already know Oregon people hate Californians. Let's not,
I think we've been making fun of them a lot more than they've been making fun of us.
Yeah, but
so I don't know that it's true anymore. The hatred has
turn after the break.
It's a slippery slope.
It's going down.
It's hella cool.
Perfect. Perfect.
No, that's our word.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, find the fake. If you want to play, 888-401-BEER, 888-401-BEER. Call right now.
You're listening to the Brewcasters. The Brewcasters on the Brewing Network.
What'd you get? More brewing ingredients?
Yep. You know what I love about Brewmaster's Warehouse?
The $6.99 shipping?
Well, yeah, but...
the in-store classes for beginning brewers.
Yeah, that's cool, but...
The Brew Builder. Creating and saving your recipes online is awesome!
No, yes, but...
The cheese-making supplies.
No.
Oh, the wine-making supplies. Oh, the distilling equipment and liquor flavorings.
All that stuff is awesome, yes, but what I really love is that the guy who runs it is totally hot. And that Brew Builder software is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Brewmaster's Warehouse brings you flat-rate shipping on great equipment and ingredients to make beer, wine, cheese, and spirits at brewmasterswarehouse.com. And if you're in Georgia, stop by Brewmaster's Warehouse Monday through Saturday from 10 to 6. Visit brewmasterswarehouse.com today because it's totally hot.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, everyone. It's the Fast Rack team.
So we are 1 week away from announcing the winners of the free tickets to the National Homebrew Conference in Grand Rapids in June.
We're pumped to be sponsoring the event and are gearing up for an awesome, maybe not totally sober, few days in Michigan.
Last year we had a blast, and that's really where the Fast Rack Speed Challenge started.
Now we're going to be literally crowning a worldwide Fast Rack Speed Challenge champion at the event.
Not only will they hold the title, but they will also be attending the grand banquet with the Fast Rack team.
And be showered in Fast Racks.
And automatically win a ticket to the 2015 Worldwide Championships as the runner-up.
This is the last week for video submissions, so get them in ASAP to be entered.
Winners will be announced live in 1 week on the Brewing Network.
More details at thefastrack.ca. That's thefastrack.ca, not com.ca. Cheers for fast racking beers.
When I order a beer, I want my server to know more about it than I do. I want someone who enjoys good beer and loves helping others enjoy it too. I want someone who knows how to pour a perfect pint for any beer style. I want a Cicerone. The Cicerone certification program is creating the type of people who help you enjoy great beer. Home brewers and craft beer lovers know beer is more flavorful and complex than ever, and it takes some serious knowledge to store and serve beer right. Cicerones know beer. There are 3 levels in the Cicerone program: Certified Beer Server, Certified Cicerone, and Master Cicerone. Cicerones are truly the sommeliers of beer. The best beer locations have a certified Cicerone on staff. Relaxed and unpretentious, Cicerones are tested on storing and serving beer, beer styles, flavor and tasting, the brewing process and ingredients, and pairing food with beer. Learn more about your next beer guide at cicerone.org. Certified Cicerone, because it takes top talent to present a perfect pint.
Downtown Joe's, where everyone is welcome, especially if you like drinking and tasting beer. Head brewer Colin Kaminsky's favorite beers are the Tantric IPA and the Double Secret Probation IPA. But you'll have loads of others to choose from when you redeem your exclusive Brewing Network savings. Downtown Joe's is the best brewery destination and the hottest night spot in Napa. Colin invites all homebrewers and fans of craft beer to stop by and enjoy the great food and beer. Whether you're in the mood for riverside dining, live music, or just hanging out at the bar to meet a person of the opposite sex or a person of the same sex, Downtown Joe's has exactly what you're looking for. And now just mention the Brewing Network to receive $1 off your beer at Downtown Joe's. That's right, take $1 off every one of their great selection of craft beers, including the Lazy Summer Wheat, Golden Thistle Porter, and the Triple Dog Dare You. Come to Downtown Joe's and enjoy the laid-back atmosphere of Napa's best brew pub. Visit downtownjoes.com right now for current beers, the live music schedule, or to drool over their delicious menu items. Downtown Joe's, your neighborhood brew pub where everyone is welcome.
Hi, I'm Jason Harris, the proud owner here at Keystone Homebrew Supply. We're thrilled to be entering our 20th year of supplying this great industry, and to show you, the Brewing Network Army, how much we appreciate your support, we're offering you 10% off your first order on our website, KeystoneHomebrew.com. Just use coupon code BNARMY at checkout, and I'll get your order out the same day. My goal at Keystone Homebrew Supply has always been to have a complete supply of everything a brewer could want. When you place your order online or when you come into our store, it's our goal to have everything on your list and more. One aspect of KeystoneHomebrew.com that we're really excited about is the ability to fulfill customers' exact grain bills. Do you hate to wait? Keystone Homebrew Supply can get your precious yeast and hops to you within just one day if you live between Connecticut and Virginia, and within 2 days east of the Mississippi. KeystoneHomebrew.com. Coupon code BNARMY. I'm Jason Harris, and I approve this message.
Wait till you can pour it out of your own kegerator.
Yeah. I mean, your friends will look at you with awe.
And it's just hot.
It is?
It's so super hot.
The home of live beer radio. TheBrewingNetwork.com.
Because like beer,
radio shouldn't suck. You're listening to The Session.
Sitting at a bar on the inside, waiting for a ride on the outside. She broke my heart in the trailer park, so I checked the keys to her ugly car and crashed that piece of junk and then stepped away.
Bartender, I really did it this time. Broke my parole to have a good time. When I got home, it was 6 a.m. The door was locked, so I kicked it in. She was tripping on the bills. I think she was high on some pills. She threw my shit out into the yard. Then she called me a bum and slapped me real hard. And in my drunken stupor, I did what I should have never done. Now I'm sitting here talking to you, drunk and on the run. I'm sitting at a bar on the inside, waiting for my ride on the outside. She stole my heart in the trailer park, so I jacked the keys to her fucking car and crashed that piece of shit, then stepped away. You know, Mo, I'll probably get 10 years, so just give me beers till they get here. Yeah, I know the sun is coming up, and y'all are probably getting ready for closing up. But I'm trying to drown my soul. I'm tired of this life on a dirt road, and everything that I love is gone. And I'm tired of hanging on. She got me sitting at a bar on the inside, waiting for my ride on the outside. She stole my heart in the trailer park, so I jacked the keys to her fucking car and crashed that piece of shit, then stepped Guess away. It was meant to be. Romance is misery, so much for memories, and now I'm headed to the penitentiary. See me on TV, the next cop series. I am a danger. I guess I should have did something about my anger, but I never learned. Real things I'm not concerned about. Pour kerosene on everything I love and watch it burn. I know it's my fault, but I wasn't happy it was over. She threw a fit, so I crashed her Nova, and now I'm going back again, back to the pen to see my friends. And when we all pile out that county van, they're gonna ask me where I've been. I've been at a bar on the inside, waiting for my ride on the outside. that piece of shit, then stepped away. And then I stepped away. Yeah, I stepped away. You know I crashed that piece of shit. And then I stepped away.
You're listening to the Brewing Network. Because like beer, radio shouldn't suck.
Welcome back. Got a game to play. We haven't had a game in a little while, it seems like.
Yeah.
You know what else we haven't had is lively breaks. Normally it's like, Bevo's eating a sandwich and I'm just kind of like on the laptop. And here now the base camp guys in the studio. And
it's more fun.
Is it true, though, Beaver?
What are we going to do at the breaks when we're in the...
Sometimes I eat potato salad.
What are we going to do at the breaks when our studio's in a bar? Like, for one, if I want to be left alone, I can't walk out into the bar.
Nope.
So that's a problem. And even everybody else, like, where do we lounge and eat now?
Can come in my booth.
At the new bar. Your booth is barely bigger than what it is right now.
Everybody pile in that booth.
Hanging out in the beef booth. All right, hey, let me let you know about the Lallemand and Danstar World Brewing Academy giveaway. Remember we did this last year, too? We let you know about this. Have you ever dreamed of attending the World Brewing Academy? Well, once again, thanks to Lallemand and Danstar, one lucky brewer will make that dream a reality for free. Enter the Beer School 2015 contest. One lucky winner will get a fully paid tuition into the World Brewing Academy's web-based, concise course in brewing technology. It's worth more than $3,000. So every time you see you use a Danstar yeast package, you enter yourself to win. Visit danstaryeast.com to see the details and print your official entry form. There's no limit to the number of times you can enter, I guess. So you can up your chances and get to go to the World Brewing Academy for nothing. Zilch, nada.
Yeah, they've done it the last couple of years on this show, and they've had lots of entries from you guys, and so keep it up, and someone is going to win the course Justin just described.
We should get one of the winners on the show and see how it was, the winner from last year.
I can testify that the World Brewers Academy is a whole lot of fucking fun, too.
It's rad, right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, we drank a lot of beers, met a lot of cool people, and learned a lot about brewing beer.
Okay, excellent. Like I said, go over to danstaryeast.com and get all the details. All right, it's time for Find the Fake. Got some... Bevo, it looks like you did it right with the callers.
Huh?
It's amazing. I don't know if you've been practicing while I'm not here or something.
Yes. I come in and I sneak in and I practice typing and words.
All the names are clearly listed and in English.
Don't speak too soon, though, because you might be like John in Tuscaloosa, and it's like, my name's Mike, I live
Scott,
in Duluth.
stop being a dick.
Good call. Let's see. Well, we should have... let's see how she did. Nasty Nate from Ohio.
Hey, guys. One second. Let me turn this thing. All right. There we go.
All right, so that's one right, Bevo. We got Nasty Nate from Ohio.
You could have played along with me, man. You could have been like, my name's Jason.
You did fine. All right, let's see who else is on the line. Looks like we should have Kenny from Oregon, an Oregon boy.
Yeah, Kenny.
Kenny, what's happening?
What's up? How's it going, guys?
Holla.
Where in Oregon are you?
Corvallis.
Corvallis, okay. Do you know the base camp beer? Have you had it yet?
Yeah, I actually tried their wit at my local homebrew shop a week ago or so.
Excellent.
Good wit, guys.
Thanks, man.
There you go.
Did you say good wit or good work?
Both.
Both.
Yes.
Good. Both.
All right, we should have Spider Wrangler on as well. Spider, what's up, man?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing all right. Thanks for joining the game. And finally, Busted Brewing from Illinois. Busted, what's up, man?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Just drinking beer and dicking around at this point. All right, you guys know the rules for Find the Fake? Of course you don't. Here we go. JP's going to read you 4 stories, all right? And what, only one of them is fake, JP?
That's correct.
All right, 4 stories, one is fake. You each get to choose a brewcaster, and then the Base Camp boys will just back. Actually, the Base Camp boys they're on everybody's team. They're going to back up each brewcaster, so you guys can give your advice as well. So we'll start with Nasty Nate. Your choice of brewcasters today are myself, JP.
No, not me.
Why not you?
He's reading the stories.
Oh, myself. Why not you? You're a ringer. You're a dead ringer. Moscow, you said you're not playing?
I'll play.
All right. Myself, Moscow, Tasty, and Beardy. Although Bevo's more fun than Moscow.
That's why I was saying that.
All right. Myself, Tasty, Beardy, and Bevo. Is that 4 people?
That's 4.
Good.
I can't remember.
And I'm the idiot.
And then the Base Camp people will back us all up. All right.
But you still count, Bevo.
Right. Yeah, you still count.
Yeah.
We're all idiots.
We're not prejudiced.
Right.
Shut up.
All right. Nasty Nate, who do you want to play with?
I'll play with Bevo.
All right.
Yeah, you
That's a great choice.
Good answer.
Yeah.
All right, Kenny, who do you want on your team?
I want you, Justin.
All right. I'm terrible at this game, Kenny, but I appreciate your faith.
The enthusiasm is unprecedented. Really.
Yeah.
I don't think you're good at any game.
I'm so terrible at all games.
No games.
All right, Spider Wrangler, who do you want?
I think we're going to go Tasty.
All right, and Busted, that means you got Beardy.
All right.
Just like all through elementary school.
The last to be picked.
It's like dodgeball.
Yep.
Well, I would want a blind guy on my soccer team. So
Hey,
Yeah.
there's still a chance we're going to throw one of these aluminum bottles at Beardy's head.
It will not break.
you won't see it until it hits him.
Jerks.
And then still,
But
I
he
won't
will
see it.
very clearly right before it hits. Like when it's an inch from his face, he sees everything right there.
Guys, I think my head just exploded. I'm not sure, though.
Beardy, despite these dicks, I'm happy to have you on my team.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
All right, JP, read the stories.
All right, this first one is called Old Smoky. A woman in southwest Ohio has been reunited with her beloved husky Zorro after she posted the missing animal's image along with the only reward she could offer: cigarettes and beer. That's right, the 23-year-old woman had nothing else of value to offer, so she guaranteed a healthy reward of cigarettes and beer to whomever helped her find her missing animal. Clearly, the lure of smokes and beers was not lost on the general public because Zorro was reunited to his owner only a few days later.
Ah, GPCs and Pabst. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay.
Second one's called Boston Beer. There are 2 things that folks in Boston are passionate about: beer and cops. One local brewery is hoping to tap into that passion by releasing a series of beers called the Streets of Boston.
Oh, God.
Each can of the Dudley Street Brewing series will feature a member of the Boston Police Force, along with their image and a short bio. Proceeds of the beer sales will go to various charities, towards various local charities. However, the decision by the police commissioner to allow the full images of these officers to be on public display has some officers reeling. Sergeant James McKay says, quote, "Being a cop is dangerous enough. What we don't want is for someone holding an imagined grudge, see our faces on one of these bottles, and decide to come into contact with us on the street, meaning to do us harm."
Yeah, or imagine he's like arresting a guy who's holding his image on a beer can. He's out on a drunken public arrest, and the guy's holding his face on a beer can.
Can I get an autograph?
Hey, can you sign this?
Yeah, it's a little hypocritical.
Each 22-ounce bottle in the series will retail for $16.95.
Okay, wow.
Next story is called The Most Interesting Man in the World.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Jonathan Goldsmith, a.k.a. Dos Equis, is most interesting man in the world, has been using his fame for some less than interesting things.
His name is Jonathan Goldsmith?
Yes, sir.
That's not very interesting, is it?
No, it's not.
Okay.
Using his fame for some less than interesting things, like raising money to cure cancer in dogs. Goldsmith is an avid dog lover who's recently lost one of his precious canines to the terrible disease. He says, quote, "The nicest thing about so-called celebrity status is to be able to call attention to the things that you believe in," unquote.
I don't always cure cancer, but when I do, it's in my dog.
In conjunction with the Morris Animal Foundation of Denver, Goldsmith recently shot a commercial for his fundraising efforts, encouraging people to donate $1 by the way of entering their dog into a contest, and proceeds of the contest will go towards supporting veterinary research. Woof.
The commercial went like this: I don't always donate $1, but when I do, it's toward dog cancer. dog testicle cancer. I got more specific. Sorry.
That's all right. And last but not least, shut up and take my money. Back to Utah we go for the latest in crazy legislation. House Bill HB 40 was recently passed back in February, and as a result, the state will now be directing tax money from the sales of beer and alcohol, from the sales of beer to alcohol prevention and substance abuse programs. The law states that any county and municipality that receives funds from the sale of beer specifically must spend at least 10% of that money on aforementioned programs. Not everyone in the state government is happy about this bill. Republican Gage Froer expressed his displeasure by saying, quote, "This is simply an overreach by our government."
So, sorry, percentage of beer sales have to go to recovery programs, basically?
At least 10%, yes.
Okay. All right. What state?
It's
Utah.
The state tax money that they receive, is that what it was? 10% of the tax money they receive, or 10% of the net
beer
tax
money?
Tax.
Okay. And what was the first story?
The first story was Old Smoky, about the missing dog and the cigarettes and beer reward.
Got it. Okay. All right, contestants. Quick recap here. Cigarettes and beer. That was the reward for returning a missing dog. Then you had the Boston beer, which is basically cop beer, images of cops on a $17 beer bottle. Then you had the most interesting man in the world curing dog cancer, dog ball cancer.
Right.
I just like to, whatever.
Sure.
It's where most of the cancer shows up, right?
Yeah, you have to think about the balls. That's
and
right.
then finally, a percentage of beer sales tax goes to recovery programs in the state of Utah. Let's start at the bottom. Let's go with Busted Brewing and Beardy. And then, of course, the Base Camp boys are allowed to help as well. Busted, do you want to just ask Beardy, or do you have an opinion already?
Let me tell you what you're thinking.
I feel like the cigarettes and beer one is far too plausible. Like, that seems like something somebody would actually do.
Yeah. I was leaning towards the Dos Equis one, because that seems like something that JP was just sitting at home, saw a commercial, and figured he had to make a fake story. And since he hates dogs, he talked about cancer.
Right. He thought of dogs, and then the next thing he thought of was cancer.
Right, yeah.
Well, but my only thing about that is celebrities have a lot of stupid causes to begin with sometimes.
Sure. Why is dog cancer a stupid cause? Because JP said so?
Because humans get it.
Why is that guy a celebrity?
Let's see. All right.
Yeah. Honestly, the one that really kind of... I want to say the cop beer can one.
What do you think, Beardy?
Well, it's his prize.
Bevo,
so
turn your microphone off.
What are you doing over there, Bevo?
If you're going to hit yourself, you idiot, turn your mic off.
She's
Bevo
dying.
just need her mic, I think.
Need her desk.
Stop my toe!
Oh, that hurts.
What are you doing in there?
Your talon.
Yeah. Settle down over there.
On.
I stubbed my toe.
Ow! You're a jerk. That really hurt.
Well,
I whispered, son of a bitch, when I did it. I didn't say it out loud.
We know what you whisper when you do it.
Beardy, what do you want to do?
Well, isn't it his decision?
Well,
I thought that's how it works.
you can now give your... He's recommending cop beer.
What?
You can agree or make another recommendation.
Oh, I recommended the most
dog.
interesting man, dog cancer.
So, and then, Busted, would you like some input from Base Camp?
Sure, yeah.
All right. Which one do you guys go with the fake?
I mean, my biggest problem here is this character from the Most Interesting Man commercial is calling himself a celebrity, because that's clearly false.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right.
I could only hope that the $16.95 bottle of beer is false out the bunch, but I don't know.
Give a recommendation, goddammit.
Be authoritative. You're on the radio.
Oh, yeah, number 2 for sure.
There you go.
Okay, we'll go with number 2.
All right, so Busted, they're concurring about cop beer with you.
All right.
All right. That's the fake for Busted Brewing.
It's your game to lose.
Let's go with Spider Wrangler.
Wait,
who
did he actually choose that one, or did we just choose for him?
whose dog doesn't have cancer?
He chose it, and then you backed him up. Yeah. Will somebody give that dog cancer? It's messing up my radio.
I'm trying to.
That sounds like ball cancer.
Definitely. Yeah. You hear how weak the bark is?
It kind of ends real raspy.
Yeah, because it fucking hurts like hell every time at the end of that bark.
Right. But the dog's still going to do it.
All right, Spider Wrangler. I believe that Tasty is your partner. Spider, how do you want to proceed?
Well, we're kind of thinking the cop one too, but I'd like to hear what Tasty has to think.
All right.
If he's awake.
Well, yeah.
Moscow, will you wake up Tasty real quick?
So woke up.
I can use the soundboard if he's still sleeping.
What are the categories again? I think Boston Beer is perfectly capable of doing something that's stupid.
Wait, was it Boston? No, it wasn't
No.
Boston Beer Company,
Boston
by the
Brewery.
way. Yeah.
It was in
Boston Brewery. I'm sorry.
A Boston
Brewery.
He threw you off with the title.
Oh.
Cheap shot for no
It was
reason.
the Dudley Street Brewing.
All right. Okay. And
Okay.
so I'm thinking the most interesting man in the world has better things to do than that.
All right, Spider. So he says most interesting man in the world is the dog ball cancer.
I feel like that could be true, though.
Okay.
My wife thinks it's true too.
All right.
I feel like
That's
this
three of
could
us.
be. He's got a little bit of fame and is using it to promote dog cancer or whatever.
You think that's true? Okay, then.
So, Spider, which one do you think is fake?
Your wife was right.
I don't know.
Well, it's got to be either.
Come on.
Take a guess, Spider. Come on.
The Utah one's got to be true, right? They do that all the time. That's what Utah does, right? And the cigarettes and beer thing, that's so ludicrous. It's probably true. It's down to the most interesting man and the unnamed Boston Beer Company.
Dudley Street Brewing Company.
Oh,
for the third time.
Named.
In
Those
5
Dudley
minutes.
dudes.
$16.95, 22-ounce bottles. Proceeds go to local charities.
All right, so Spider, either make a decision or hand it over to Tasty, and he'll make one for you.
Well, my wife's saying that she's always right, but that I should listen to Tasty. But we had been thinking the cop one initially.
All right, so you going for cop beer?
There you go.
Okay.
Yes. Last guess.
All right. I like how you told him to make a decision or hand it to Tasty, and he did both.
Playing all the bases, man.
All right, it's 2 votes for cop beer, and now it's Kenny from Oregon. Is Kenny playing with me? I think so. I think I have Kenny.
Yes.
I think you'd be able to tell.
Kenny, do you have an opinion? I doubt it.
Yeah, we're kind of thinking about the cop beer one as well, but maybe the first one, the cigarettes and beer.
It's flaky.
Is there a
wild card?
Is there a certain form of? Was it on Craigslist? What was it? Because Craigslist has some weird shit, man.
Right. And the dog was found ultimately, and I'll tell you what, Kenny. If I were going to go with something other than the cop beer, and I think we should just to differentiate ourselves, I think it would be.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
I think it would be the cigarettes and beer story too. It's too easy, right? Like, it was such a clean story. By the way, and JP also mispronounced the dog's name. Like he said Zara, like Zorro, and it's obviously Zorro, right? Like the dog's name is Zorro. Yeah. So I feel like he's
had some beer tonight, apparently. Then
I've had some beer. That's absolutely.
I don't know why that's my clue, but that was my clue. As soon as you mispronounced Zorro, I was like, that's the fake one.
Yeah.
And so,
I think let's go with the cigarettes and beer then.
Now, keep in mind, I'm terrible at this game, so you might want to go with the opposite of everything I've said.
That one's 100% true.
So
I think it's true up until the quantities. I think if you miss your dog, you're gonna offer up at least a keg of beer and like a pallet of cigarettes.
Yeah, was there an amount of cigarettes and beer offered?
And
there was not.
And also, if all you have to give is cigarettes and beer, that cigarettes and beer are pretty important to you. I think you let the dog go.
Yeah, it depends on how cool the dog is. Absolutely.
You find you're like, I'll bake you cookies or something. You don't give away your cigarettes and beer.
Well, maybe not cookies either, but yeah, like, an old Nintendo game or something.
Yes, yeah. I have an old Atari 6400. All right, so let's go with cigarettes and beer, Kenny. What do you think?
Yeah, I like it.
All right, we're doing it.
Well done, Kenny.
And then finally, that brings us to Nasty Nate, who's working with Bevo.
More like twerking with Bevo.
Working it out.
Nate, do you have an opinion?
Yeah. I personally think it's number one. I don't know. What's Bevo think?
I actually think it's. I think it's number one too. What 23-year-old girl has a bunch of beer sitting around?
Oh, okay.
We drink wine coolers.
You're 23.
Yeah,
Shut up! I was at one point, you dick.
You haven't been we in 100 years.
Right.
I'm not that old.
No, but you look it.
All right, so Nate, you guys want to go with cigarettes and beer?
Sounds good to me.
All right. It's a
coin flip here.
It's a split. So I hope none of us got it right. I don't know why, but
it's not a split. Spider went with Boston beer, and Busted went with Interesting Man, right?
No. Busted went. I have Busted with cop beer.
Oh, he did.
Spider with cop beer.
Yeah, I went cop beer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's a split.
Kenny with Cigs and beer, and Nate with Cigs and beer.
Okay.
All right, JP. What
are these final answers? Does anybody would like to change their statuses?
I don't think so.
All right. Well, it turns out a woman in Southwest Ohio was actually reunited with her husky dog, Zorozara.
That's
after
it. Now,
providing cigarettes and beer as a just reward for the returned animal.
So did we get an amount of cigarettes and beer?
There was none in the news story, unfortunately.
Kenny, I'm sorry. I told you, buddy. But
it's okay.
All right, I'm going to drop Kenny and Nate, right? Because
single elimination.
Sorry, guys.
There is no losers bracket.
Sorry.
Okay, thanks for playing.
And all of you drinkers in Utah, you are actually indeed funding alcohol prevention and substance abuse programs every time you purchase a pint of beer.
Yep.
Okay.
That one is true.
Okay.
No one picked that one.
I'm surprised that no one picked that one because it does seem a little outlandish, but nobody was surprised.
That sounds like something at a state level someone would try to do.
Minimum 10, but they did it. That was the surprising thing. It actually happened. Passed.
California.
Yeah. Okay.
So now we're left with Boston beer and the most interesting man in the world.
Okay.
It has to be.
Is that a drum roll?
Yeah, JP's he wants his voice to be golden for the final answer.
I'm going to get all the prizes right now.
You should. Warren should. Well, for all you dog owners out there, you will be happy that someone is fighting for your animal not to get cancer.
Yeah.
Jonathan Goldsmith is, in fact, fighting cancer in dogs, meaning Dudley Street Brewing, which does not exist at all.
I don't always save balls, but when I do, they belong to dogs.
Cops in Boston will not have their mugs on mugs of beer.
Where did you come up with Dudley Street?
It was it's a street name in Boston.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh.
So Spider and Busted both win. Yep. Cop beer is the fake. Well done.
Told you, celebrity cause.
That's right.
That is awesome.
All right, JP will be sending you both a prize. Please send him an email, jp@thebrewingnetwork.com, with your information, your shirt size, everything like that, and a shipping address, and we'll get it out to you right away. Thanks for playing, kids.
Make that your wife's shirt size, Spider. Your wife's shirt size.
Yep.
Extra small.
Attaboy. All right, thanks, kids. Cheers. There you go. Another successful game of Find the Fake. God, I'm terrible at that game.
Again, every game. There's no game that
I wonder if I've ever won. You know, the only game I've ever won in here was a chugging game. And Bevo and I won it.
That's right.
And we won it against fierce competition because we had to go against Dan Gordon.
And the Schumann brothers.
Who puked. We did not.
I was clearly not at that show.
That's right. That was a good show.
You can chug a fast beer.
Yeah.
It was out of a boot, though. It wasn't a pint. You can just,
it was out of Das Boot.
JP can do an incredibly fast pint.
I can.
Have you tried since the surgery?
No.
I hope you didn't lose your talent.
I got to say, I haven't seen this. So, I mean,
you know, like sometimes, when pitchers have to have like elbow surgery,
right.
They lose a few miles on the pitch.
Yeah.
We have a challenge.
I wonder if you've lost a few seconds.
I may have. It's quite possible.
But again, you could have a wider opening, based on all the stuff they took out of there.
Well, yeah, you have a cavity now, so the pint will just stay in your neck.
Which means it could go faster. Are you feeling up for it? It sounds like we have an in-studio challenge.
Oh, no, not tonight. No, I can't do that.
You can't?
No.
Why?
Because I have to go drive home and eat, and then I have to go drive to Benicia to watch 24! Jack Bauer's back, motherfucker!
That show
sounds like a really weak excuse.
It's still on. It's coming back.
Yeah, by the way, cable works in Concord.
Yeah, why are you driving to Benicia?
Because I don't have cable.
Oh, right. Good call. Neither do I.
No. And it's my friends are having a party, so
I see.
We got a big
cable he knows
100-inch projection screen, surround sound stereo. It'd be great.
It doesn't. None of it sounds as great as a chug off.
Yeah.
Well.
Actually, both things do sound. I had no idea that Jack Bauer is coming back. So that is pretty great. But I'm still challenging you to chug off right now.
You're being challenged
I can't do it right now.
Right now.
I cannot do it. I can't.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
This is a really weak radio segment. Sometimes you got to just own it. You got to go. The most important thing is our audience.
I know,
and it's
normally
radio.
I would, but I can't. I.
What do you mean? Normally you would.
Normally I would.
You would.
Normally I've been eating sandwiches and shit downstairs, but I haven't had shit since lunch.
Yeah,
and I'm already
you can
a little
still
kinda
have a
buzzed.
sandwich afterward.
No, I can't.
No, we can't. He's iodine.
I'm on a special diet right
Not
now
tolerant.
because in another week I'm going to get radioactive.
What does iodine not tolerant mean?
Well, it's like
I will not tolerate iodine.
With the exception of you guys, everybody else understood what I was talking
No,
about.
they didn't.
It was retarded.
It's a new product from Miller. It's called iodine not tolerant.
Non-iodized beer. The best beer in the world.
Yeah.
Undistilled, non-iodized.
Yeah. Triple iodine brewed. Really?
I literally.
We're
would
missing
be
out on
fucking
great
hammered.
content.
Yeah, I need to get home at some point in my life. I can't do it.
You can't
Sorry.
watch the rerun tomorrow?
No, not even that. I have to go home first. But if I chug a beer, I'm not going to make it home for
I'll
another
buy
hour.
the cab home.
No, then I have jury duty tomorrow.
I'll buy the cab in the morning.
You buy the cab in the morning to come back here.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm parked on the street.
You can't
We'll move it in the back.
I can't.
Why?
I can't.
Yes,
I can't do it. Leave me alone, Doc.
I'm trying to get good content.
I'm not going to Burning Man with you.
I
can't
would do it. If I was the chugging pro, I'd take it off your hands, but you're the only one who's the chugging pro.
By proxy, you are my...
I'm not good at it.
But you beat
it's no
the
competition.
humans?
No, that's different. That's long form chugging.
No, you're crazy.
That was a boot.
Well, since he's forfeiting, do we all have to just compete to find out who the new
the new champion
chugger
is? Are you a fast chugger, Beardy?
I could be. I don't know.
Beardy's not fast at anything. He's fast at being real slow.
Well, he wouldn't have to drink it all, though. It could just
Right,
go
yeah,
somewhere.
I'll hide most of it in here.
That's true. So are you, Paul, traditionally you can do this very fast?
I mean, I've been known to drink, quantities quickly, but I'm not even going to put myself on the same par with these guys. These are professionals here.
Sure.
See?
Well, we thought they were
I'm a
professionals.
professional creator of beer, not a professional consumer.
I think a professional doesn't turn down a chugging contest for an episode on Fox.
It's not that. Yeah. It's because I don't need to be hammered in 8 seconds because I have to go home.
I saw that with a cab ride.
I can't
because
do
of
it.
the iodine intolerance.
I can't drink anymore.
Yeah,
I can't
intolerant.
I can drink iodine slowly.
He's not tolerant to iodine.
Oh, boy. Bevo, who's on the phone?
I'll check
I sent you a message.
Oh. I don't want to take this right now, do I?
No, you don't. You want to get off the air.
It's a technical...
It's
You
a
want
real
to get
question.
off the air.
Yeah.
This is not the caller you're looking for.
Hi, Tim from Chicago. What's happening?
Hey, guys. How's it going?
It's going well. You got a question?
I do.
Is it about why JP won't chug a beer right now with an in-studio rival?
You just asked it for him, you jerk. Let him say it.
Yeah, that's crazy how the timing is, because that's exactly what I wanted to know.
Okay. Yeah. What else did you want to know? Go ahead.
All right, so I've been brewing about 2 years, have 35 all-grain batches under my belt,
Great.
and recently brewed my first lager. Finally got a fermentation chamber figured out and temp control and all that good stuff. So it was a pretty basic, American premium lager, and I pitched it 45, let it rise to about 50, fermented almost all the way out before I got back from business and was able to bump it up for a diacetyl rest. But I got it up to 62, and it was 4 points away from final gravity. And it sat there 2 days, and then I brought it back down. But I really think I got some diacetyl in the beer. It's like a vanilla-y, butterscotchy sort of taste. And I'm just wondering if I let it go a little late, and whether it's even worth maybe repitching something into it, once it's up at, in the 60s, to see if I can get that taken care of, or whether I just, cut my losses, take it as it is, and go from there.
What do you think, Paul?
I would say that, you might have, kind of raised the temperature there a little bit late. All you need to reduce diacetyl, as you know, obviously, is healthy active yeast.
I pitched 2 vials in a 1.75 liter starter, so I feel like I had a good base there, but, it was probably day 6 almost when I got to it.
Well, and if you have it steady, around 60 degrees, if you want to just pitch another vial in there, that probably will take care of your problem.
Yeah, do you think, I got some dry lager yeast. Do you think it's worth hydrating that and pitching that? Or if I'm going to even waste my time on this, do I just go and get a new vial?
I mean, I can't really speak for the condition of the dried yeast that you have. But, I mean, I would always suggest using liquid yeast, because of kind of the date stamped on the, the freshness of that.
Yeah.
Right, totally. And do I make a small starter, and dump it in, or do I just take the vial?
Well, I mean, if you're talking about just diacetyl reduction, you can just use the vial and just dump it right in, as long as you have, adequate temperature consistency,
And that,
around 60 degrees. That should scrub your diacetyl, no problem.
Around 60, you said?
That would be ideal for most lager yeasts to scrub diacetyl. Absolutely.
Yeah, I can keep it at any temperature, so 60, something like that would be good. Okay. All right.
There you go.
All right, that's all I wanted to know. You guys have been most helpful. I will see you all out in Grand Rapids.
Excellent.
Great.
See you there. Cheers, brother.
Bye.
All right, cheers. Thanks.
You guys want to know how Bevo spelled diacetyl?
No, I was just looking at that. It's really bad.
Oh.
I really don't know how to spell it.
I do.
DIE-ASS.
She did all right. Diacetyl, which is part of why I didn't want to ask the question, because I was like, I don't know what diacetyl is, and this could get ugly. DIASOTAL. Diacetyl.
That's not horrendous.
Okay.
Mom's a diacetyl.
You guys should chug it out.
All right. Speaking of your mom, let me let you know about AdamandEve.com. That's
Think
right.
about your mom with your pocket pussy.
Our fine sponsor over at AdamandEve.com. For a limited time, I think, you get 50% off just about any one item. You get free shipping. You get 3 free adult DVDs. These come from genres such as JP.
Yes. Anal.
Thank you. I like the yes category.
I did that.
Genre.
Yes. Yes.
Everything is yes.
That is a category.
Can I put it on your face? Yes. May I shit on you? Yes.
Yes.
Scott.
I'm going to go different this week. Busty Latinas.
Busty Latinas. Great category.
Redheads.
Good category,
Yes.
Tasty. Give us a porn category, Paul. Go ahead.
I actually was spacing out when we started this. What am I talking about?
Give us a porn category.
A porn category. God, where haven't I been?
Perfect.
I think that might be a category. Yeah. You want to give us one too?
Armpits.
Armpits. Great. None of these categories are on AdamandEve.com. But there are great categories over there, like
bondage.
Bondage. There you go, Bevo. Well done. AdamandEve.com. Use coupon code BNARMY. It's BNARMY. Categories such as Beardy?
Piercing.
I think that is also a category. It's a creepy one. Good on you, Beardy.
You're welcome.
Turns out, actually, Beardy's entire chin is pierced.
Right.
He has 27 piercings in his chin.
I have a safety pin chain going under here.
It's actually not even a beard. It's just attached to the piercing.
Right. Yeah.
It's a piercing cover.
All right, AdamandEve.com. Use coupon code BNARMY. You get all that stuff. Plus a free gift. And they change the gift all the time, so order often. A free gift so sensual, it's sensual. Okay.
We had yes, I was spacing out, and armpits. That was all in the list.
Oh,
I just want to point that
I
out.
was spacing out was later changed to like.
I would actually prefer that.
Where
one.
haven't I been?
Oh, where
haven't I been?
I was like, I was trying to think of why did I do it here?
Oh,
So,
this
I couldn't remember what it was.
Oh, this one again. This never gets boring.
Armpits.
Really?
And armpit.
Good job, guys.
He's owning it too. He's like, oh yeah.
Don't knock it till you try it.
You bet your ass, armpits. All right.
Twitter game.
Twitter game was
Sam is president in 2034.
Our Sam.
Our Sam.
My
Sam
Sam.
the douche. And what was his first act as a president?
Okay.
Does that mean I'm the first lady?
You'll be dead by then. But that's a whole different
He's going to back the car over you.
Greg Hack says his first act would be to let strange homeless men wander into the White House while on air giving the State of the Union.
Yeah, he would do that. Yeah.
Ed Van Tassel says the keytar is declared the national instrument.
Yeah.
He would definitely do that.
Yeah. Bill Kuhn writes, officially and publicly forgetting that he's president.
Wow. How well does everybody know Sam?
Right?
Which one of these is going to happen first? That's the hardest.
Chris Rogers says he would take a day off from intense Nintendo playing to make the military's uniform members-only jackets and bowling shoes.
Holy shit. These people know Sam better than the rest of us, and he's never on the show.
It's incredible.
Right.
That
And
person
then-
must really know him. Like, that's really his outfit.
Yeah. And then Patrick Morrison writes, "Wacka, wacka, wacka" on an intern's bare behind.
Oh. I don't think Sam would do that.
No. I think he would.
Not first.
Yeah.
These people all win. Those are all so good.
They're all good. I don't know how to pick a winner there. How many entries was that? 5?
6.
6.
5.
Well, we got stuff to get rid of here at the studio.
3, 4, 5.
Let's send them all a prize. Everybody wins. That's the best Twitter game ever.
It's
solid. Yeah.
Nice responses. Yeah.
All right, everyone. Send me an email, jp@thebrewing.com.
All right, go to basecampbrewingco.com and check out our guests. Guys, thanks again for being in the studio. And tell us again, where can we find you tomorrow?
We're down at the Stein's Beer Garden in Mountain View.
Okay. At what time?
5 o'clock.
All right. You park the Westie out front. People can't miss it.
We will be there with the Westie.
Big green Westie.
I hope so.
Yeah.
It might be smoking, but
Yeah.
We hope to be there.
All right, gentlemen. Thanks. I wish you luck.
Thank you guys all so much. This was a pleasure. It's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm glad you had fun. You really brought us some great beer, so I appreciate that. And the show always goes better with great beer. So, well done. Believe me, we've had not so great beer brought to us before. It's
true.
Mhm.
You guys didn't do that.
Fact.
BasecampBrewingCo.com. All right, next week, what do we have? The Michigan beer film?
Yeah, we'll do a little Michigan, pre-game for the NHC, and a fellow named Kevin Romeo made a documentary called The Michigan Beer Film, and we'll have him on.
Excellent. And don't forget, we're doing our BNA 9 in Michigan. I'm sure JP's going to remind you, but I don't mind doubling up on it. You can get your tickets right now at thebrewingnetwork.com/BNA9. It's $50 for all the food you can eat, so dinner is included, plus all the beer that you can drink safely, plus there's going to be a dunk tank there, plus there's a kickball game. It's going to be a great, great time.
You mentioned the bus ride is included, too.
Oh, yeah, you get a bus ride. You just get on the bus right outside the conference hotel. We drive. It's a short 10-minute drive. Everything is included, and it's all brought to you by HopTech Homebrew Supply and Craft Beer and Brewing Magazine.
Where do you get them at? Where do tickets you get
at? BrewingNetwork.com/BNA9.
Basecamp guys, did you give a shout-out to Joey, who put this all together? Did you give him a thanks?
Hi, Joey. Hey, we love you, bud.
Oh, hey, guy. Yeah, he's really responsible for all of this. The show that went down today, the bottles, advertising, marketing, everything. That guy's rad.
Oh, nice. Okay.
That's Jay Dallas, which is also a good kind of porn answer, too.
That is Jay
Dallas.
Jay Dallas.
Search for him on whatever, yeah.
All right, are we ready, Jip?
We are.
All right, let's get out of here. We'll see you next week, everybody.
Thank you to our show sponsor, More Beer. You can get absolutely everything you need to make great beer at home by going to morebeer.com. Thanks to Basecamp Brewing for coming out to this wasteland we call Martinez. Find them next time you are in Portland, Oregon. Follow JP over on Twitter so he's not telling jokes to an empty Twitter feed. There's a good beer inside at Homebrewing. Follow Nate Smith at Nathan Homebrew and Mike McDowell at Tasty McD. You get your tickets now for BNA 9 over at brewingNetwork.com/BNA9. Production director on the session has been Push Eject. Today's show has been produced by Scott Moskowitz. JP was waiting to leave so we can watch 24. Brewing Network was eating... Bevo was eating macaroni salad on her sandwich. And your host was Justin Crossley. Be sure to find the Brewing Network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
JP's an asshole. Justin's a nice guy and winning the